Oh, hello. Welcome to Friday night. Had to put down a clone. You might have heard a clone. All clones have been strangled. There is no danger of clones here. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 Hope you're ready for a good time. Have you heard the good word? Meat is mercy. Behold. I think I am aware that there are living humans watching. Hi! It's me, Chris Vangelis @ on YouTube.com. Hope you're having a good Friday night. Welcome to September 2023. Welcome to real Labor Day, September 1st. I have no skin in this game. I just have always known September 1st to be Labor Day, but apparently this year it's Monday, September the 4th, and whatever does that mean? Whatever does that mean? Hi, my birthday was last weekend, but I don't give a flying crap. My birthday window for personal celebration, I extend in about 4 weeks in any direction, because why should everyone have to structure their schedules around the day I was actually genetically born? Why don't we just celebrate me whenever we want to? Ha! But I'm going to talk about some birthday stuff I got. I'm going to open some birthday stuff I got from a couple of super kind folks who are not related to me. Thank you for the belated birthday, Labor Day-ber, that's right. Thank you for the belated birthday wishes to everyone. Also, my apologies to those whose birthday is today, who thought that this was a shared birthday. But really, it's close enough. We can just pretend it's a shared birthday. Like, I'll just say it's my birthday again. It's my second birthday, whenever yours was. And also, just a big hello to those in the chat. Pod Voiski, Tapaz, Ben Walter, An Army of Bees, Dynamo Dave 2002, Picky Peeves, Beast of Possibility, Fish Pop, Mozotron, John Thomas Jones. I think that's all the ones I can see right now. Face Forward, Samuel Bell, Today Day, Wheeljack64, what's up? Update on my pinched nerve. It's like it's not here anymore, but it's like apparently my dad used to say this when he had a similar thing. It's a turtle that's like going for a wander through my body, and right now it's in here. So every now and then I'm kind of going like, because it's not like it's like pain, it's just like it's nerve. You know, when something is just nerve and you're like, I don't like how that feels. I get it right now here sometimes. Also, these two fingertips are a little bit a little bit benumbed. These three, the thumb and the two useless ones, are mostly not as prickly now. So, you know, there's the update from last stream. I'm probably still going to be, like, writhing around and whatnot this whole thing. So, you know, enjoy the show. I also wanted to drop a couple other little updates in here. Number one, I dropped a video today, but YouTube surfaces those. So I probably should have mentioned in the video that I live stream. But anyway, there's a review of You Only Live Once Park Raw-Tib Bumblebee that's up now. Also, there's going to be a panel from TFCon Toronto going up over the weekend, which is our TCG panel. That's all edited, and today I got the bulk of the editing done on the Manic Marathon number 3, which it's going to look a lot like the other two, with, you know, 3 simultaneous camera shots for the most part, but I added a sort of animated texture background underneath everything, so it's not just like 3 shots on black. Now it's on like a dark magenta and purple lava lampy thing that doesn't move that fast, so it's not going to it shouldn't give you motion sickness, but, you know, there's a little bit more texture. It's also going to take another 500 years to render. Anyway, what else did I have to update you on? I have some updates here from my circles, and I'm trying to in my brain figure out how I want to stream at least once or twice a week. I don't want to pick days though, because I hate commitment. But I wanted to also throw in a few updates on just the things I'd like to shout out. Number one, my friend Cassie is doing tomorrow a drop on D20 Loves Dice. So tomorrow at, I think, 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern, check D20 Loves Dice on socials to get the info. Cassie is dropping a bunch of one-of-a-kind bespoke handmade dice sets. This is a local creator whom I have done some RPing with on D20 Live, and who I've known for a little while, and I wanted to give a little shout-out because, as far as I can tell, Cassie's put a ton of work into this drop, and is concerned that, like, no one's going to buy anything. So I want to do my part to hopefully encourage at least someone to buy something. I don't know what the prices will be like, but they're handmade dice, so they're probably going to be, you know, a little bit on the pricier end, but I think that she's got, like, dice sets, but also I think some dice pairs, maybe some single dice. You'll find out tomorrow afternoon, so check that out. This shop, by the way, is d20lovesdice.square.site. But I believe the unifying brand name is D20 Loves Dice. So, yo, if that's your thing, check that out. Currently on here, I think there is like 1 dice set. Yeah, there is literally 1 dice set on here right now. And it's a B grade one. So, as an example of how handmade this is, these are hand poured, I believe. And being a B grade, you will see this is unpolished, notable flaws. So, by pointing these things out, ideally that communicates that Cassie knows what Cassie's doing. There's like a video of like the upcoming dice. There's just, you know, lots of pretty stuff. So do check that out. That's the fun side advertisement. I just saw this other thing on Twitter, and I feel like I should give it shouts because it's relevant to we in Transformers. Peter Spellos, voice of Skybite in RID 2001, just had apparently a cancer thing come up, and is currently on. Someone started a GoFundMe to help pay for all of the expenses that cancer diagnoses can come with. And since that like popped up while I was getting ready with the stream, I felt behooved to mention it. So this GoFundMe is help Peter Spellos flip the bird to cancer. I retweeted it, so if you go over to Twitter, I got it retweeted. If you can't see my Twitter, actually, hang on, I can paste this into the chat because I run things around here. So here is I'm gonna do both links in here. So Peter Spellos GFM and here is the D20 Loves Dice shop link as well. So those are both there in the chat. But anyway, I felt this was worth calling out just in case anyone who catches this stream is like, dang, I would like to help with a GoFundMe for as far as I could tell, a cool person who's got, you know, one of the worst things that you could get told ever. So I wanted to give that some due time. Links in the chat. I haven't seen Peter Spellos in a while, but I always remember one of the first BotCons he went to in the aughts. Specifically, he was like, because he'd been to, I believe, horror conventions before, and my brother is the one who called this out. It was one of the few times my brother went to a BotCon, and he was like, Peter Spellos had that vibe where it's like he'll, what is it? If you meet him in a lineup or something, he'll get your name, and then he has the kind of, convention guest brain where if he bumps into you in the elevator, like with my brother, he was like, oh, hey, Oliver! And my brother was like, yeah, it was like that specific convention version where it's like, he's good at attaching names to faces and making people feel welcome. I assume he still has that vibe going on. So there is that. Later on, I might do a little combing on them old front page things. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what all I stream other than opening toys. But I also got things to share with you. And I'm going to start off with the Fan Expo haul. I think that will transition into things nicely. And I'll mix in some birthday haul stuff. There's things I won't bring over here because they're unwieldy or unbuilt. Like I got a little acrylic like nail polish rack for paint that I can put paints on. And that it's in a cardboard box, so I have nothing to show you. I got one of those BCW boxes that's like fatter. The one they made for Transformers that they then remodeled to be taller for Commander decks. I got one of those. I got some Blu-rays. I got the menu because I watched it on streaming and I liked it, and I don't want to rely on streaming for movies I like. And I got the Kamen Rider Ryuki Blu-rays. And then there's a couple things. Actually, I'll do the birthday thing first because I'm already on that roll. Let me get this out of the way. One thing I got. This is already messing with my order, but whatever. It's this thing. It's like photo boxes, right? So it's like a case full of photo boxes, and then each of these boxes is postcard sized. So it's perfect for storing print and plays or boxless postcard sized games. Like this is one of the Button Shy postcard games from the Board Game of the Month Club. So it's a nice way to store that isn't a Ziploc bag. And then this is still in the Ziploc because it fit, but like here's a print and play game I printed off. So it's a pretty cool game. I do recommend it if you're interested in counterinsurgency games. You just need a bunch of dice. Very fun game, but also this way I can fit it into a thing so it's not in a Ziploc sliding around and falling over all the time. And then I think I'll switch to the other camera for these other things so you get a better look at stuff. So let's go to the desktop. For myself, because I saw this at Meeple Mart, I got a golf ball size D20. It said it was shiny purple. Looks a little more pink to me, but I don't mind. I like both. Anyway, just a big ass D20 felt like a thing to have, to squeeze, you know. And then I also was gifted the mechanical rider from Malifaux. I just like the Malifaux riders. There's 4 of them. The mechanical one is a steampunk cyborg lady on a steampunk cyborg horse, which is like generally the coolest kind of stuff you can communicate. And also got a little set. I had a wish list on a gaming site basically. 401 Games had some dice on sale, and this one really called to me. This is a dice set which was called Lich Slap, and it's a 10 die set of dice. And so Lich Slap, as you can see, is just like kind of a gorgeous color gradient. It looks delicious. It looks edible, but it also looks like Lich is getting slapped. And it's a 7 die set. Hey, hang on, I have to come back. I just got to go to the tunnels. What are you doing down here? Yeah. Why are you hiding from me? I've returned. So it's your usual 7 die set, but then they give you a second D4 that's like in the double paperclip shape, which I think is cooler than the pyramid. And then a second slightly bigger D6 with a symbol for the 6. And then a second D20 that's almost as big as this D20. So I got a big honkin' set of balls to roll, which I think is pretty cool. There's apparently a couple of like solo RPGing systems that use 2 D20s, and if I can do like a solo RPG journaling system with a big ass pair of 20-sided golf balls to just hurl like that feels like a fun time. Also, Lich Slap is an excellent name I don't know how else to communicate that. You just got to say it out loud to yourself a couple times. I'm doing it for you because I'm the streamer talking right now. But you know. Ben Walters, that a lot of steampunk. It's a bunch of steampunk. Yeah. V Rider, hello. Yeah. The Lich Slap dice are so pretty. I want Dice Envy stuff. With these 10 die sets are like perfect for the stuff that makes me feel satisfied. Like just getting a couple multiples, getting big dice with big numbers. Big, fat, honkin' numbered dice. Big, grippable... I wasn't looking at chat for a sec there. Sam Welbo, the menu... oh, yeah, and Bees, you both seen menu. I like the menu. It's, you know... They cut some stuff from the movie. Probably better for pacing. Most of the deleted scenes that I watched, I was like, I wish these were in the movie. And it is certainly a film where it's like... You know, how do you put this? It was written with good intent, but by folks who are pretty well off. So, like, some of the message can get a little bit muddy, but generally I think it's really fun to watch. I think the two leads are excellent. It's a special kind of intimidation tabletop when the Jumbo D20... Yeah, my Jumbo D20... Like, I'll bring a dice tray, but I want to hold the two of them, you know, just look like I'm ready to pitch them, you know, at whoever. Oh, it's a tetrahedron, not a pyramid. I'm sorry, Pinky Peeps! Oh, you got me. I've been got. Do I got a sack for them balls? I got so many sacks. They're occupied right now, but I am laden with sack. You can just call me a sack spawner. I got so many sacks. Anyway. On to the stuff I got at Fan Expo. I didn't buy tons, because Fan Expo is like a weird friggin' show, okay? It's a weird show. The main thing I bought for myself was this from the Bandai booth, because they had a giant nano block booth, and then I saw this, and it was like 22 bucks Canadian. Go do the math if you're not from Canada. And I just thought it was cute, and I haven't built a nano block in an age, and it has something where you can, like, flip the packaging to be a little display case for it, and I like Shin Godzilla, so, you know, it seemed like a natural fit. They had, like, blind pack nano blocks for Godzilla and Ultraman, like little $6 blind packs that you could also get as a set of 8 for 48 bucks. And I was like, am I ever going to build those? Probably not. I think I'll stick with the one. They had a Mazinger Z that was like this as well, but I just wanted the one. I just wanted the Shin Godzilla, which I have not opened yet because I don't feel like it. Because I don't feel like it yet. That's why. Do something about it. I also, I mean, I'm not a tabletop RPGer even, but I like dice. So I bought this from a vendor on the last day. This is 30 bucks. It's an aluminum thing. Snap closes. It's really fun. It's got felt inside. You get 5 solid aluminum D6s. So these things, they're just like solid aluminum D6s. They feel really cool and heavy. And I bought these thinking like I'm going to ink in the pips with some Vallejo real metal. In fact, I got that right here because I'm painting Necron still. So I was thinking of dropping a drop of this into each of the pips. But now that I look at it, I'm kind of like, I think actually the pips are way more visible than I thought when I'm not in the convention hall. So I might just leave it be. I might leave it as is. But I just like the dispenser. I like the way it feels, you know. 5d6s can get you through a lot of like tabletop war games and stuff, so I thought that was neat. And I also bought myself... My coasters are all degrading, so I bought a coaster from an artist in Artist Alley. That's the sticker, actually, they gave me. The coaster's purple. Artist Alley at Fan Expo seemed like an exercise in cruelty to both the attendees and the artists, so I wanted to buy something. So I bought this coaster because I think it looks cool. It was 10 bucks. They had a deal if you bought 3 of them, but I didn't want 3 coasters. I just wanted the purple one. So I just bought it, and they gave me this sticker. The artist also has a business card in here. Insomniac's Dream is the artist. So there's their info if you want to look them up. So anyway, I just wanted a new coaster, and I thought this coaster was nice, but I don't want to use it yet, 'cause I want to really fully obliterate my remaining Canadian wildlife photograph coasters. It's a neat case, fits 5d6 or 1 vape. Yeah, if you have like if you had like a small Dynavap, I guess it would fit in there. It'd rattle around, though. And I'd rather just keep the aluminum dice in here. It's really fun. It's the snaps are like little dents on either side. I got matching divots in here, and there's like a... So I don't think this will wear out super soon. Sideswipe Prime! Welcome back from work. I hope the stream will help remove the stress. Also, Audio Technica, that toy guy was like, yo, Audio Technica has a big booth, so we stole stickers. I didn't buy any actual Audio Technica technology, but I stole a sticker. And then I got my photo taken with Ultraman Blazar, the real one. Some of you might have seen it. And when that happened, they also gave me this. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I did. So when I got home, I was like, what the hell is this? And then I was messing, and then whoop! And that bit popped out. Let me just go to the tunnels again. There we go. So this little thing pops off, and it appears to be a USB stick. I'm assuming it has episode 1 of Ultraman Blazar, the dub, on it. I haven't checked. But yeah, that's... If this is like a way to give out episodes, I think this is a super friggin' cool way to hand out digital copies of media. There's a bit... I haven't scanned this, but I don't know where that goes. It's Ultraman Connect's whole thing, so I assume it goes to their website. What is your opinion of Audio Technica's stuff? I mean, if you... So here's the thing. I'm not actually that good with hardware, so I don't really have, like, hot takes on Audio Technica's stuff. Toy Guy was like, yeah, they got these headphones I really want. And I was like, sick. I mostly just look at, like, what the items are. I took a photograph of their menu to go look at reviews, because basically what happens, if I like the look of something, I go look at reviews, and I use my specially attuned review reading brain to try to discern if it's good or not. But I don't actually got, like, opinions on their stuff. It all looked neat. Toy Guy said that their headsets are really good. They had a cool-looking pop filter. They had some cool-looking microphones. They had something called the Hamburger or something similar, which was like a Bluetooth portable vinyl record player that was like a giant paper clip you put on a vinyl record that then starts spinning the vinyl record inside of it, which seemed pretty funny. I like the idea. But yeah, all my technology, as far as brand names, my two main microphone recorders are both Zooms, a Zoom H4n and a Zoom H6. This microphone here is a Rode, I think, NT Mini that I got on sale. Most of my arms, my articulated arms, are Manfrotto. I like Manfrotto stuff a lot. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever heard like that Audio Technica stuff is bad, so I'm pretty sure it's all right. But yeah, I've never actually been all that great with like super solid like hardware brand opinions. Oh yeah, the H6 came out years ago. They're up to like they've replaced the H1 with like a smaller H1. There's like a super powered H6. I think there's an H10, but there's an H with a larger number than 6. And also, the other company that people buy things from, whose name I always forget, they make stuff that is basically complete parallels to everything Zoom makes, and they're also all good, from my understanding. The H6 is neat because the microphone is a module that you can remove, and you can buy other modules to stick onto it. I don't know if they did that with any of the later ones, but yeah, there's like an H1 that is smaller, and there's, I think, a new H4, because I have the H4n from 2010, or from 2007, I think is when it came out, but there are new H4s now. The H4n is a classic workhorse piece of technology. It's like one of those, you buy one and you probably don't ever need to replace it unless you destroy it. Anyway, speaking of Blazar, I don't know. I don't know about the Twitter side of Blazar. I mostly just look at like whatever Tsuburaya retweets, because one of the Ultraman accounts got like, because some NFT scumbag got in with Ultraman Connect for a period, so I stopped looking directly at their Twitter account because it was getting annoying. But yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. Also at Fan Expo, I bought a Transformer for 25 Canadian dollars on my way out, because I was bad at finding any deals in there. But then like this is one I kind of wanted to get, and I didn't want to pay retail for it. And hey, this isn't retail, so I got Jesus for 25 Canadian dollars, and I still am really freaked out by his face. You know, not looking like a shrimp, but you know, live and let live, as they say. I'm also freaked out by the fact that his box has a window on it, so I can't be efficient. Oh, my Ultraman Blazar USB business card fell down. Oh no. So, yeah, Jolt, Jesus. He's the one who can resurrect people, and then he was too good for this world, so he disappeared after he did his one thing. Man, this has tape on it even? What the hell? How is a kid supposed to open a box like this? So I want to get this open and have a little look-see. I need to save his backdrop and film it later for my B-roll, because I have, you know, standards and practices. But yeah, I know, windows on boxes? What the hell is this? Like, what is this? How am I supposed to know what the toy feels like before I buy it? Huh? So I need to take some B-roll footage after the stream with this. But I want to try to recycle everything else as I go. So these boxes are pre-flattenable. Oh, Picky Peeves, if it helps at all, Studio Series Dino is, in my opinion, a legit, just cool toy. So it's not like a bad decision to pick him up. IMO. I just think he's a neat car transformer. Same with Studio Series Hot Rod with car form, not like weird tank thing Hot Rod. That toy I think sucks, but good Hot Rod is another good car transformer. My chair just suddenly sank. I'm gonna replace this chair soon. This chair is doing that thing that all computer chairs do, where the gas cylinder is just starting to disintegrate, and occasionally you're just sitting there trying to work, and then the chair dips like 6 inches, and you get whiplash in your neck. Oh, you can't find them in here. That is a problem. I still haven't gotten Studio Series Crosshairs. I would like to. I heard that he was interesting, and I liked the old deluxe Crosshairs. So if I like that one, and a lot of the stuff I heard is the new one is you know, finally a good Crosshairs, then I assume I will like the new one. These twist ties, how am I, these are so thin and plastic. How am I supposed to easily get the toy out with these twist ties? Toy Guy put up a review of Gamer Megatron, and I got to poke at it while we were having lunch at Fan Expo. That toy is weird, but I shot a little video on my phone where I was trying to pepper poor Toy Guy with irritating YouTube comments IRL. So I turned on my little camera and I just started referring to every single thing the toy did, good or bad, as like lazy. It's like, look at this lazy Hasbro, lazy hinges here. Look at so I gotta work that into my... I'm gonna do a little Fan Expo vlog edit of all my phone footage so that I can vaguely justify the media pass I had, because as media, there was nothing to do. The Hasbro booth was a table with, like, less than 20 toys. There were, like, 4 Transformers at that table, and one of them you all saw, Gremlin Blitzwing. They fixed him after a day, but it was too late. No one working there was anything but a distributions person. It was a huge step back from the 2019 Fan Expo where, like, actual Hasbro team presence was there. Anyway, yeah, Gamer Megs is a weird toy. I'd like to pick one up sometime. I just don't really want to pay full price. It's just so odd. The thing that actually really I found really odd was that the funny knees, the ratchet click they have, made me like them more. Because I was like, at least this feels like it's on purpose. But I do. Toy Guy mentioned it in his video, which I was like, wah! Oh no! Now I have to back up my opinions. But I do feel like the weird knees, they felt a whole lot like the kind of thing like a floor manager might have done. Or I also saw later on, people were talking about how there's visual evidence you can piece together that something got flipped in the CAD model. Which, if that's the case, like that actually seems very feasible to me as a problem to happen. But I've also never heard of that happening. But I would not say it's impossible. What do I do with these? This, I gotta get this out of here. I gotta put this in the recycling bin. I'm feeling cramped. I feel like I put the camera too close. Where can I go? I can go back here and go like this. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, the Gamer Studio series are... I would call all of the ones... I've handled Bumblebee and Megatron now, and I'd call both of them odd. I still haven't seen Gamer Prime, and I know he's the good one. Oh, I see the... Yeah, there's the wrist hole. That's just big and long. Look at that. Look how far he can resurrect people. Where's his, where's the... He's only got one hole on one hand. What is this? He's got a hole here. He's got no hole there. What are you going to tell me? Yeah, I don't want to transform him yet. Tell me where his holes are. He has guns? Where? This is pre-tissue paper. Where are those? The finger that pops out. Those are the things I just called guns. Where's his thumb? Is that why this one was less expensive? It's time for a quest. Thank goodness I put everything in a bag. Yeah, he's missing a thumb then. I should check my footage to see if he had one originally. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, okay, I found it. It fell into the box crevice while I was recycle folding the box. I would have been very confused for like 10 minutes if one of you hadn't said that in the chat. He's back to a thumbs up because I got his other thumb on there. Okay, so you replaced the thumbs. That's interesting. And you stick the thumbs on the sides of the door when you're not using them. Thumb holsters. Okay. That's a neat system. I think that's kind of cool. I'm going to leave that alone now for a little while. Thumbs back up. We found the other one. I'm sure there is some kind of arrangement with all the hoo-ha on his back. I'm not too fussed about it right now. Yeah, thumbs up in the chat. We found it, so we can put it up again. So, did DNA Designs, I'm assuming they already did a kit for him, did they give, like, alternate thumbs that are pointed up? Like, straight up, so you can plug in a thumb swap for him to give a thumbs up? If not, what are they even doing? If not, what are they even playing at? Like, what's their game? Why are they not making what we, the true fans, want? I like the robot mode so far. Like, this is, you know, it's a good stud, sir. The weird head is articulated, so that's helpful. Seems like he has an inadvertent, like, there is a way you could say, check out the depth of that ab crunch. Kind of obviously a transformation joint. If I'm wrong, then I'm going to be astonished, but it's kind of a cool secondary function for it. Yeah, Podvoyski, now that we're into the tissue paper era and I know to look for it, I'm kind of like, I don't mind the tissue because I know something's in there. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make him a car. But yeah, while I'm doing this, let me talk a little about Fan Expo. Fan Expo Thursday, the preview day, very chill day, very nice, in fact, I dare say fun. I had a lot of fun that day. I primarily was just hanging out with Toy Guy, just walking around, looking at stuff. It was very chill. You know, obviously it's the preview night, but it was also for a preview night that was accessible to everyone who bought a fancy pass, right? at which point I kind of was questioning, like, how is this really a preview night? I liked it. It was laid back. Let me get the lay of the land, you know. Friday, there were more people. Friday was exciting. Sunday felt a lot like Friday, but I'm not sure how warped my perception was, because Saturday was horrible. Don't go to Fan Expo on Saturday. Whatever you do, if you're going to go on the weekend, go Sunday. If there's a guest who's only there Saturday, consider whether it's worth it, because it probably isn't. Fan Expo Saturday should be illegal. I'm not even hyperbolizing. If an actual fire broke out on Saturday, there would be fatalities, no matter how well people performed in escaping. It was incredibly irresponsibly run on Saturday. On one simple note, it was demonstrably oversold. There were too many people in there for the space. And I know everyone's like, oh, SDCC, NYCC. Here's the thing. Fan Expo is infamous for this already. They made real news when they oversold so badly in the 2010s one time. Dealers, guests, and vendors couldn't even get back in the building until the tickers ran to a certain point, because they broke fire code. So the best way to describe Saturday, right, is when I went into Fan Expo on Saturday, middle of the day, you know, 1 or 2 o'clock, and I didn't even go to the celebrity building. I went in the back entrance to just the brands building. Took me 20 minutes to get in, and then when I got to the basement where they force you to go, right, and all the one-way traffic, I went down this escalator. Ultraman Blazar was having a presentation 1 floor up. I couldn't get there because, again, the flow of one-way traffic meant they were in the other half of that floor, and I had to go down then up. When I got to the bottom, the lineup to get on the escalator to go up a floor and or simply leave ran across the entirety of the building. So if you just wanted to leave on Saturday afternoon, you had to line up for, it had to be at least 20 minutes, if not like somewhere between like 30 and 40 minutes. In my opinion, irresponsible to have numbers of that level at your show. Like, how else can you describe Fan Expo Saturday? When you hear from friends who are in town for Fan Expo on the Saturday, and you're like, oh, you're here for Fan Expo? Yeah, but it's Saturday. You say, what building you're in? Oh, the other building. Neither one of you even try to figure out how to connect. You just go like, oof, best of luck. You commiserate a bit on, like, Instagram messages, and then that's it. Because you know you can't get to the other person anytime soon. Yeah, it's just the best way I can refer to it is just rampantly irresponsible, and I'm gonna mention it when I do that vlog, because that if I get to report on something, then I guess I report on that. That's my media pass speaking, because the media pass is basically just a 4-day weekend pass with access on Thursday, and that's all it is, right? So. There's no you know, fancy pants. I don't think there's even a media room. I think they just had like, well, there was a media room in another hotel where they did the media check-in. But guess what? That's in another hotel. If you're there on Saturday, you ain't getting to that hotel to do your Hot Scoops reporting until that night, right? Yeah, I feel very. I don't think it's unjustified or hyperbolic for me to say that it was just an irresponsibly sold day. And that's leaving out the part where, like, you could get, if this is something that you know is something that you have to deal with, you could get hugely claustrophobic in there. You could easily get literally physically trapped inside somewhere in the dealer hall there, and if that is something that can set off your panic or anxiety, good luck, I guess, because there's nowhere for you to go other than, like, just, you know, collapsing on the floor and sitting on the floor and hoping that it stops. Artist Alley on Saturday, completely inaccessible. The Artist Alley lanes were only 2 people wide, so that meant that you could walk through Artist Alley at one pace, and if you stopped to look at anything, you were suddenly blocking one direction of traffic, which, to me, is incredibly unfair to the artists in Artist Alley. How can any artist, especially ones who are not, you know, named comic books people, how can they possibly hope to sell any of their wares on Saturday? What is the gain for having a table there on Saturday? Because if anyone stops to look at what you have, they've become a public nuisance to everyone else, including other vendors who might have gone to get food. How do you get this little panel in there? I think I just locked myself out on this panel. No! And like it's hard to have a giant, primary mecca of a convention for, enthusiasts, obviously, and accommodate literally every possibility, but one way you could do it's by selling less tickets on Saturday, right? And it's not like people can go in and out on Saturday, because if you went in there on Saturday with one big goal, you had to devote most of the day to seeing that goal. The thumb just flew off. I gotta go to the tunnels again, hang on. Oh, I found it. Anyway, I've been kind of waiting to public lay into Fan Expo a little bit. I'll do more than just grumble on a stream, but it's just like I don't know. It felt like the lesson, whoever it is, right? I don't know how Fan Expo works. Okay, like, I'm a lay person, I'm a press badge person, right? And not one with a press number. I'm one of the ones who's like a YouTube person, right? So, whatever. But, hey. But, like, whoever benefits the most from the sales of Fan Expo tickets, it seems like the lesson that they learned from the pandemic and not having Fan Expo for a year or two was, now we gotta have an even worse Saturday with even more tickets sold and even more human body traffic everywhere. And that was the only lesson learned. And one would have thought maybe, like, human proximity safety might have been something really learned about during a period where human proximity was one of the single most dangerous things you could do. And that's not even to comment on the notion of, like, did Fan Expo even seem to consider the notion of the common cold, let alone, the ongoing presence of, let's even say, multiple nameable diseases? No, of course not. Of course not. That doesn't sell tickets. Which is, and it's a real shame, because Thursday was chill enough that you could kind of just relax a little bit. There was enough space, right, that you didn't have to be... I felt you didn't have to be hyper-conscious about your proximity to other humans. But then Friday is like, oh, nope, I am going to put this little barrier between my face and everyone else's. And then Saturday was just like, I'm going to burn all my clothes when I get home. While I was talking about that, I do want to say, now that I got him into car mode, weird transformation, but I like it, and I really like how when you get everything in position, a lot of it is just going like ka-click, ka-clack, here's a car. It's not like hovering. A lot of this stuff feels like it's actively tabbing in. And it feels like there's also a very specific order of operations that I have not followed, but it feels very solid for how this car goes together. And robots in disguise, more than meets the eye. It's your absolutely normal electric vehicle with giant whips on the sides. I'm gonna say good toy. I'm gonna say generic level good toy. That's my hot take. I enjoyed that. I need to mess with the Dark of the Moon mold again, which I think I have in blue from the Japanese release. That one's also really good. I think they're both good. This one might be better if I get used to the transformation. Gabe VJ and make less money, unfathomable. Yeah. I got the feeling like I was sitting there going, like, is Fan Expo, do they have savings? Because it especially this year, I was kind of like, is Fan Expo just running on a zero profit level of, like, they spend all their money from one Fan Expo to run the next one, or at least all the money gets spent between each Fan Expo? Like, do they not have a bug out bag of money? I don't know. Oh, Ben Walters had a miss with SS86 hot rod and a bit broke peg pipe. Ugh! That's unfortunate. Don't the kids use whip as a form of slang for the automobiles? Well, it whips. It if much like how if it was music, it would slap. Anyway, I got 2 birthday gifts. I'll do the small one first. I didn't want to open these because I thought I should honor them by streaming as I open them. So one of these comes from my friend Chris in Australia, who every now and then on birthdays like raids my Amazon wish list, which is like super kind. So I just get a message going like, "Yo, something's in the mail," and I'm like, "Huh?" And the long drought is over. I still want a second one, but the long drought is over. This is the first time in my life that I will handle a scrap hook. I've seen one in a dealer room for too much money. But finally, I can stop complaining. I still want to get a second one, but finally I can stop complaining. I can stop looking. We can get right down to the funny business. Now, also, I already last stream I opened up axle grease, so I sort of know how the mold works now, but I don't care. Yes, Wheeljack, I am one step closer to Junkosaurus. Thank heavens. No windows, no funny plastic ties, just nice biodegradable paper everywhere. I can deal with this. You got scrapbook. The tears welling emoji. That's right. This is the ending of the children's movie. Pongo went to heaven. That's dark. He didn't die. I'm thinking of 2 movies at the same time. Unless there's a Dalmatian sequel I don't know about where they all die? I don't know. There are a lot of parts in here. There's more parts in here than I thought there'd be. Mosatron, you tried building Junkosaurus the other day, and that was a unit, a justification to buy a second crash bar. I was ahead of the times! The first of these things I found, I did manage to double crash bar, and I was very happy with it, even with just 2 crash bars. Cygnus 7, let me tell you. For a Wave 1 Iser Deluxe, arguably the sort of thing I should have been able to find 18 of at any given moment, given the last few lines. I don't understand who is following me around on the planet buying all the scrap hooks. This is Siege Ironhide all over again. This is exactly the same story with Siege Ironhide. I never found one to this day. I only ever saw one once in a dealer room. I have Siege Ratchet, yes. I have Siege Crosshairs, I think, even. Siege Ironhide, though? Nope. I know some people would be like, you didn't miss anything, but, you know, I'm an Ironhide liker. I'm a deluxe Ironhide appreciator. Even the one everyone hates with the blue face. So, like, you know, leave me alone. Don't judge my lifestyle. Am I getting Trash Master? Hell yes. I am genetic. My biology has taken on so much trash simply by the way I live my life. It would be criminal for me to not have tracked down a Trash Master. Hey, he's got a hood gun thing too, but his don't connect like axle greases. Do they? No, there's no tabs. Okay. Yeah, I like Siege Ratchet and I like Siege Crosshairs. So I'm like, I think I'd like Siege Ironhide. Here's the thing, though. I also like Universe Ironhide, the one with the blue face. I also like Earthrise Ironhide with his Sunder sled. You know, and I like SS86 Ironhide because mine hasn't broken. And I don't think that's a thing yet, but people are worried he's going to break unless he's already broke. I lost track. I just tend to like deluxe Ironhides. I like Combiner Wars Ironhide. It's just me, but whatever. Yeah, Universe Ironhide is because he's technically Classics, but he wasn't in Classics. He was in Universe. That was his actual release. Him and was it Prowl? Was it Prowl was in that wave or that line as well? Yeah, I'm the the number of people who like Universe Ironhide you can count on one hand, and I'm one of those fingers. So like, you know, I'm well aware. You know, I got nothing. I got nothing to add to that discourse. Because I'm not changing anyone's mind, nor do I want to. It means that there's more Ironhides for me. Am I getting the Death 2-pack one? I don't know. Because I think they're funny, but it's a lot of money to spend on two toys that I think are funny, you know, and... If I got the Death Pack as like a gift, or if Hasbro sent me one, I would be like, hell yeah, the Death 2-pack. But I forgot to manually set my focus, excuse me. But when it comes down to like, oh, I have to spend money on the Death 2-pack, that's where I immediately start going like, huh? I don't... Critically thinking, I'm not sure I need it. But, you know, there's lots of toys that I think look cool that I also don't buy, because I have to make decisions now, because I'm a freelancer. Oh no, the focus was... Did that carry over? That still doesn't seem right. Hey, there we go. Okay. Good. Apologies if that was a thing for the last little while. Ooh. Ow. So Cygnus 7, I got the Earthrise 2-pack just off a normal Amazon pre-order, because in Canada, I was there when they put it up. So I just got it for, like, normal price. And when everyone was trying to sell it off, I was like, I really should. The problem is I like both toys. So I didn't want to. So this is all still similar, the same kind of thing, right? It's this and this. He's what do they want you to do with the hook exactly? Like, do they got a recommended place for it? Oh, on the side of his arm. That's okay. If I have one problem with this mold, it's that, and I you know, here I am really on time to the discourse, right? It's like everything about him is like there should be a front-facing hole here, and there isn't, and that's a bummer. Mega Sasquatch 420, good name. What do I think of the Toeline repaint? I like it, because it's the most lore that Toeline will ever get in his entire life. And that lore is 80% headcanon, but just the very implication that Toeline ended up with this body is like, man, what happened to him? I would love to find out that story. I guess I have to invent it myself. But still, it's exciting to me, because it's like... anything to increase, it doubles his lore, because his lore before then is no parking means no parking, LOL, and that was his entire personality. So now you take that and then you add a second line of equal length that says, and then at some point Mad Max, and now he has doubled in character depth. Yeah, Axle Grease gets a tube thing the hook can go into. Yeah, I just stuck it on the back. Well, the tube thing is at an angle, though. Because, like, here, I'll pull her over for a sec. This is the thing about Axle Grease that I was so confused by. Is the tube thing, if you stick one on here, right? It doesn't peg on in a straightforward way. If you want the 5mm thing pointed forward, it sticks on like that. At, like, this angle set backwards. And then if you can't stick this version on because the hand is in the way. And then if you stick it on like this, it's angled down. So like, it's like really specifically designed to make me feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what going down there. It's like mathematics I don't understand. As opposed to the countless mathematics that I do understand. Oh, ho, ho. Toeline's Frosty Cube, Toeline's teal matches Shattered Glass Sideswipe's teal if you want to go crazy with Izaring. I had no idea. That's actually kind of cool. I wonder if... That can't possibly have been on purpose, though. That seems like just absolute coincidence. Can I 180 his head? I can. Hooray! I was just doing this with axle grease the other day. Oh. Does this not go down anymore? Okay, so you have to... He has too much mohawk. This has to go this way. Oh, wow! Yeah, his mohawk... Look at that! The mohawk, like, perfectly... There is a perfect angle between the mohawk and his crotch to dock together. Well, you know, to lightly dock together. This is definitely, what I will say, having messed with axle grease, and I don't think anything's really going to change my opinion on this guy. This transformation ain't bad, but, like, everything about these arms feels wrong. And it's like, but not that the toy's wrong, it's just that, like, I somehow misunderstood how geometry works. Like, everything feels off and weird. It doesn't help that, you know, the friction elbow does that sometimes. But I feel like I don't understand math when I do this toy, and like, I think I do. But it just goes together so weird. And so collision-y, too. Ugh. That doesn't happen on my axle grease as much. The elbow ripping itself out of the socket. Like, it's doable. It's just, I never feel comfortable doing the arm side of this. Is this going in? There we go. That's nice though. That feeling of click and like it's sucking together. That's a satisfying feeling. Pee Pee Poo Poo returns. Thank you for the happy birthday. Yeah, to pause. Precision crotch to head engineering. And then this thing has got the fun little offset peg that's cute. And I'm guessing they want the wheel on the central peg back here. It's so weird this hook is made out of, like, slightly flexible but not nylon plastic. It's odd. Which way do they... Did I get everything the way that they want me to? Tell me how to play with my toy, please. Oh, they want the hook inwards. Okay. I don't want the hook inwards. I want it out like that. I can do whatever I want. So let's do the thing again. In case you didn't see the last stream, stream VODs are available. Please watch them. I'm going to go back and try to timecode untime-coded streams from the last year and a half at some point in the nearer future so that they're a little bit more accessible and easy to skim through. But I did this last stream, but now the colors are all going to match. So if you didn't know that Crash Bar can do this, if you take two Crash Bar front halves, they have a mating tab. If you mate them together, you got to pull these parts back. Push back the handlebars. These will mate together, and then there is a peg and a hole to mate the tires together. And if you do that and extend these parts out, the distance between these two pegs is a perfect match for the distance between those two holes. Except that this is harder to do than I thought. Get in there. Get in. No, get in. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me in front of the whole class. Mom! There we go. So yeah, it matches up. Wheeljack 64, it's the same on Trashmaster. I figured as much. So that's a matching distance. The same distance is matched back here when you yank the arms out, but those are so complicated, I don't really want to. So I'll just show you it again. The other legs, there's a couple things on here that do that trick. I'll show you all of them. At least the ones I'm aware of. So the other legs, right, have the exact same thing. They have a mating tab that's up front here. And a mating tab back here. So these are 2 tabs. I don't think you can do the mating. Oh, no, I might have tried it. I'm pretty sure you can't do a mate between one of these and one of those. But you get another symmetrical size thing with, again, the same distance between those. So you can stick one of these on to one of these. Like that. It fits perfectly. And then if you take the central block with the orange bit still attached, this is where it gets real funky. Those orange, you know, with the accessories put on here, as the instructions say, you then get 2 pegs, which are, once again, that exact distance to fit on there. Or you can stick them on like this. So this is all based on a very specific width with 2 pegs. And I think that's neat, just as like a building idea. So it means that you get, they are like, each one of these breaks into basically 3 Lego bricks. Pee-pee poo-poo, is there a purpose for this? Imagination! Sorry. Something fell over while I was saying that. Ask me that again. Is there a purpose for this? Well, the purpose is... imagination! That's the purpose. What would a second scrap hook do? Basically, it would just give you, like, more blocks. Second scrap hook, I think, is more for messing with Trash Master, so you get more chunks of this. There's a trick to getting the rear off. Oh, right. It's like if you flick this thing in to get... This is the thing about this that I also just don't dig, is how, like... It's built on having these 2 things in a V shape, which is, like, it's off. It doesn't match the rest of the play pattern. It just makes me feel weird, and like I didn't finish transforming stuff. Oh wait, I can leave that. Pee-pee poo-poo, I think YouTube is silencing me from saying naughty words. Well, then you gotta... Oh, we're on top chat again. Oh, well, I can't do chat modding by myself. Can I take a moment to also say, I've said this before, and maybe I'm cursing myself when I say this, but I don't care. I want to show appreciation. Thank you. Thank you so much, current version of the Evangelist channel chat audience on live streams, for not needing to have mods sitting there. It's so nice that I don't have to worry about it as much as other streamers do. I don't know how to get these stupid arms out. I'm gonna pull the bits off and... I'm just trying to make a demonstrable point about the engineering of the piece. Ow. That's not supposed to come off. Okay, there we go. See, the arms don't even play nice with this with the system, because if you put the chunks back together, right? This should be part of the system, but the pegs are completely hampered back here. See, then you have to fold the arms forward, and then the thing doesn't tab together to create the geometry again. The scrap hook arms do not mate with the rest of the system. But then if you fold these bits in back here, that will mate with the rest of the system. So now we can do a double crash bar scrap hook, as the kids like to call it, to make we're gonna make what's called a truck bike. Yeah, there we go. So there's just a wacky Junkion truck bike. And yeah. The whole system, I think, is pretty neat. I'm really excited to mess with Trash Master. But even that, like, making this weird Junkion dragster thing, like, I just think that's kind of cool. And then you also get a weird freak who has, legs for arms and feet for hands. And, and that's fun. I guess you could like put a couple arms back here and make them giant shoulder pads. I haven't gotten deep into the building yet with axle grease because I wanted someone who color matched, and now I can play around with this a bit more in my free time. I'm gonna wait. What am I gonna do here? Now I've created a scenario I cannot escape from. We'll put that there. Wait, can I match a geometry between these? Is that possible? Oh! Oh! Okay, so with this, right, you can change the distance between those two peg holes. So ostensibly, if all you stupid pegs and tabs would just stay where I tell you to, yeah, so now it's double pegged in. Oh, that's not pegged in very tight at all. That's there's all kinds of things in the way, pushing those things right back out again. I don't care. I do what I want. This is my playtime. You resist me, you're inanimate plastic. In the end, my willpower is greater than yours, and I will win. Oh no, this nub is too much in the way. Damn it. Oh, hell. Hell's bells. I'll just stick one on. I thought for a second we just cracked the code, but I mean, that's still pretty neat. It's just kind of fragile. Is there any... I want so much for there to be just like some perfect geometries in here, but I'm not finding them right now. Ah! Hi, what's up? Calm down. Anyway, what a great toy. We'll just push all that over there for now. Is there possible redemption for the scrapbook arms? There could be. If there's like a geometry that they create, maybe they're like an unfolding Lego part I didn't understand yet. I gotta mess with that some more on my own time when I don't have to keep it in shot. However, I'm going to switch cameras. Anyway, that whole thing, hopefully that was an example of how you can use the power of imagination! Anyway, when I was at Fan Expo, best of the Izers so far, I think Crash Bar, but when you have two, is my favorite one so far. Of the Junkion Izers. The Fossilizers, I think, collectively have worked the best for me, but we'll see if Trashmaster like maybe unlocks the final circuit in my brain with these. Oh, Nonef, that's really kind of you. I think Face I might be able to buy one off of Face Forward when we meet up in Victoria next month. So I'm probably good. I'm trying to resist the with the Izers, I resisted the temptation to double buy. With Junkions, I already double buy Junkions as a habit, so I'm okay doing doubles on these, but I'm trying to not triple up because I don't think I get enough out of the play pattern to want like 3 of them, unless someone's making new heads for them, in which case all of this turns bonkers, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Fossilizers just, especially when you just have one of each, they feel like a cartoon that didn't get made that probably was really cool. And I mean, that is the biggest compliment you could ever give, right, to toys. This toy, the main compliment I can give it, we gotta recycle this into the bag. So, I gotta give a shout out to Toy Guy, because I met up with on my actual birthday, I met up with Toy Guy and Ultra Primal at Fan Expo, and then Toy Guy was like, yo, happy birthday, and I was like, huh? And it just handed me this, because we were talking about this on the Thursday, and I was like, yeah, because Toy Guy likes this one, and I was like, yeah, I do too, I think it looks cool, I don't have it yet, but I want to pick it up sometime, because I'm an appreciator of weird big robots with weird alien alt modes, and apparently this thing's very tall, and I was like, that sounds cool. So then Toy Guy was like, yo, happy birthday, and I'm like, and I started weeping on the spot. Just tears everywhere. I was like a blue, 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 and crumpled into a little ball and was like, ah! So I'm gonna see how this thing looks now. I haven't opened it at all. I'll make him buy my crash bar, so he's stuck with 3. Well, the intellectual checkmate. If I got 3 crash bars, I can try the triple fronted crash bar. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, tissue paper. All right. So there's a backdrop in here. I'm gonna leave it in here because I got to film this later, and it's easier to keep track of the backdrops if they are all in one box, so I can then dispose of them afterwards. And then we can just read this guy. This boy is tall. This is a tall boy. He's so big and... Ooh, hang on, I gotta... He's gonna be a thing. Ooh, he's so big and handsome. He's so tall. I gotta put some of these Junkion parts together so they don't all go flying all over the place. Okay. That works. Hang on. I gotta check something. There's something inherently disrespectful about packaging him with his face off. Yeah, it's a pause. Like, imagine if you didn't know the movie and you just bought this because it looked cool. The Fallen looks cool, in my opinion. If you just saw the Fallen in a vacuum, you're like, what a cool Egyptian-themed robot. And you open him up and you get this funny little, like, bird monkey face thing, with, if I recall correct. Yeah, that could do that. Oh god, it goes so wide. Hang on, how wide can this go? How unhinged can you unhinge the jaw? Look at the... Oh! Mommy feed! Mommy! Oh! And then, like, the momlin comes in and just, like, chews up a bunch of worms and pukes them into the kid's mouth, and oh. Circle of life. Oh, you didn't know his body? Yeah, this toy I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. And then the moment I saw, it's on the box art, I think, that his mouth opens when his face is off, I was like, well, I need it now. They added an action feature of his most emasculating, most just like, hey, how can we obliterate a character from the entire mythology in one fell swoop? Let's have his face get ripped off so he looks like a skinned infant, and then have him go, ah! All hail our glorious plucked baby bird emperor. True. Oh, he's so much. There's so much toy going on. He has 18 toes. Ugh, he's gonna lie face down for a second here. Post-credit sequence. In Dark of the Moon, when they were cutting, or was it Dark of the Moon or Age of Extinction? One of them. Last night, when they were showing all the things from all the other Transformers movies as throwbacks, they should have cut to a shot of like this, just him face down in a desert. 16 toes and can't stand up. True. Demonstrably, there is stuff you have to do to this out of the package, because, like, he's got hunks hanging off of his arms. He has no face on. Ignore the background. You're gonna see yourselves back there. Just be humble. I'm gonna get the instructions out for something like this. I'm just gonna get the instructions out since, like, I don't really know what it's supposed to look like anyway. I'm a Q defender. Let me just come out and say, there's a lot of maligned Transformers that I'm I'm an enjoyer and a liker and occasionally even defender of. I think that when Q isn't supposed to be Wheeljack, when Q is just some freak, like he should be, in the film he is just some freak called Q, I think he's fine. Now, when he's Wheeljack, yeah, sure, maybe he's kind of weird, kind of funny. It's kind of like, huh, what's going on? But when he's just Q, notable freak Q, he's fine. IMO. All right, so this thing double pegs together like this. Feels like it's supposed to come apart for storage. Man, this is hard to focus on, isn't it? I wish I had... Okay, hang on. We gotta... The visual is too... Between the Fallen and all the stuff in the background, this is actually too chaotic. We gotta clean this up a little bit. Okay, here. This will at least, like, calm it down just a touch. He's taller than the... Let's go to an upshot. Okay, maybe I swing this back. You'd think I would have figured this out when I live streamed Victory Saber, but, like, hey, I'm full of surprises, okay? Do you like how he's just looking at you? Do you like how this whole time that face is just looking at you with his mouth is hanging slightly open, okay? And he's just he's looking at you like he doesn't know if you're a friend or if you're food. Where he's looking at you and he's like, is this giant robot with no skin on its face? Does he want to give me a kiss? Does he want to bite my throat? I'm not sure. Potato, oh my god, he looks like a Muppet. You want to see him look like a Muppet? There you go. It's just a giant void in there. JT Elm, the pyramids of Egypt exploding are less distracting than the contents of my desktop, is what I will say. That I think people might back me up on slightly. Mosatron, I'm getting FNAF vibes from this. We get some more light over here, just a touch. Okay. The real darkness within. I have a new sleep paralysis demon now. You're welcome to pause, frankly. Okay, so I'm supposed to fold some things up on the back here. These are just on big ball socket joints? Oh, they connect together. They connect together like the weird design that he is. Ooh. Okay. Unless I misunderstood? Or do they connect into the back? Oh, I see. They can... Wow. Okay, so they don't connect together. They connect to his back onto this stuff. So he gets, like, musculature. That's still pretty cool. Look at that! Look at that! Like, these ball sockets are also just popping way the hell out of his arms half the time, and whatever, but... I think it's by design that they pop out easily, so it's like you can pose them and then reconnect them. I forgot his mouth was like that. I forgot I did that to his mouth already. That jump scared me slightly. Let's put his face back on. How much face did this guy have to lose? Okay. How does this precisely connect? Like that? Okay. Ooh, damn, I look cool. Hope no one screws up my swag. That would be embarrassing. Hey, I didn't tab this in well enough. Yeah, I think he has light piping through his mouth. I think. Hang on, I gotta readjust some things again. This toy is huge. But I'm trying to do this, you know, chastely, so I also don't just unload, like, a direct view of my crotch onto all of you. I am wearing shorts. It's my house. I don't have to wear pants in my house, but I am wearing shorts. So, you know, don't worry. So I'm going to disconnect this stuff for a moment. Just so I can, like, figure out how his arms even work in the first place. So the biceps have got swivel. Alright. Let's fold that stuff back there for the time being. So he's got some proper digitograding going on. It's just a swivel back there. So I guess half proper digitograding. And they figured out how to articulate him. Double-jointed elbow, is that I spy? Milady, do I... Oh, milady, is that a double-jointed elbow I spy? Hmm? Can you name all the characters of J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings? Hmm? Jeremy Lemmings, my birthday's actually in late August, but I wanted to stream opening some stuff, and I was busy. But also, I consider birthdays to just be like an anchor point for a personal celebration time of an indeterminate number of weeks. Not just for me, but for everybody. Because that way, we don't have to make schedules revolve around one single day, when that's, like, wildly unrealistic in this economy. In this time economy. Thank you for the belated birthdays. Pee-pee poo-poo, Tom Bombadil, no one else deserves a name, true. Real, harsh, true. Labyrinth, thank you for the belated JT Elm balls cam. There is no balls cam. All right? I know who you watch. I know where that came from. You can't play clever with me. Everyone in those books deserves more of a name than Tom Bombadil. What did Tom Bombadil do? What did Tom Bombadil do to deserve that kind of slaking of the name? He just wants to sing his little songs. Oh hi he ho diddle dee. Tom Bombadil is me. Harsh but true. Alright, so these things can actually really stay on here pretty... Like, I thought I was going to lose all connectivity when I moved the elbows forward, but that is not bad. Face forward, I support Tom Bomba Discourse. On my server? By the way, on my YouTube membership and Patreon gated discourse channel, we do actually have rules now, and you know, happy to debut the newest rule: no Tom Bombadil discourse. All Tom Bombadil opinions are valid on the Fun Evangelist server. By the way, there's no... I think I try to say this whenever I can. There are no, like, super cool secrets on the Discord server. I just gate it so I don't have to moderate it as much. I'm on other Discord servers. Where does this plug in? Oh. Oh, it's going in his hand. Never mind. The anime filler arc of... Further proof that J.R.R. Tolkien, innovator for the very medium of fiction, invented the anime filler arc before the popularity of Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so the staff coming apart is also so he can actually fit it into his hand. So you slot one end in, then reconnect the two pieces. Like, I get why this stuff detaches easily, but also imagine if this, like, just C-clipped in there and, like, didn't detach, and you had to operate within... Like, I guess if you hold it, you can do this. This is so cool! Like, it's not perfect, but, like, you know, you hold the two ends together, and you're not, like, holding pieces. Like, it stays connected. But, like, look at the... That is so friggin' cool! Try to show you some more angles while I'm doing that. You know, highly imperfect, but also, like, what a task to take on to make this remotely work. That's, yeah, Face, that's one of the reasons I love this thing. The Fallen, right, is like such, in terms of just delivering on a film villain, The Fallen is such a massive, muffled fart, right? But then when they went to Studio Series, that's why I was won over when they announced this and showed the first pictures. I was like, you're going 110% on The Fallen in 2022 or 2023, whenever they announced this. And it's like, hell yeah, I'm down. Like, we are not gonna half-ass it. We're going full Fallen. Alright, I'm gonna figure out how to transform him. This is probably gonna take me a sec, because he doesn't make any sense. ROTF Fallen didn't do this arm flap thing, if I recall correctly. It just... it just... Okay, so the first thing is that I want to fold spikes in. Didn't even notice those fold. I'm going to take you on this journey with me, because you're also... This is going to be a lot of people also going like, wait, the Fallen transforms? Why? So his chest seats up. Like, even that looks kind of cool. Like, that's a Bionicle mode. Look at that. He's got, like, a Bow-Rock face. Or whatever. He's got like, Power Links Matanui. Those are my two Bionicle words I know. Well, I learned a third one from Toy Guy, which is lime green ball socket joints are rare. That's the other thing I learned. But, like, that even looks freaking cool. Yeah, Battle Mask! He's got another face. This is post-movie The Fallen, when he rebuilt himself, and he was like, I'm not only going to put a face mask on my face, I'm going to put a face mask on my face mask on my face. It's never happening to me again. Never again. Bionicle mention. Oh no. What have I done? Alright, so you're supposed to unseat these hunks from back there. And then you go into assert dominance position. He wears the mask of wet farts. True. Alright, does this tab into anything? That's my main question. Because they haven't shown me the photo with the click onomatopoeia shape on it yet, and I'm already kind of wishing they would. Oh, here it comes. Okay, here it comes. It's coming! It's coming! What? What does that inform me? The tiny thing that you can barely see. You highlight it in purple, but it's also covered up on the CAD, so I can't see it. Okay, I found it. I found it. It's up here. It's up here. This tabs in up here. Like that. That tab in was up there. Okay, okay, okay. Picky Peeves. Once again, Transformers, Generations, Studio Series offers fans the chance to bring their toys together and imagine better movies than what we got. Headcanon? I'm so happy that I so readily just fall into headcanon because of toys. Because I enjoy so much stuff. And, like... How do you put this? How do I put this? I'm trying to figure out a way to put this. I feel like I'm better off enjoying things. I don't know how to explain that any better. But I feel like I ended up winning the brain lottery where I can imagine stuff and enjoy things. And that's not meant to be, like, you know, derogatory. It's just, I don't know how else to explain it. Where, like, the completely missed potential of something, if a toy of it comes out, then at least I can mess around with the toy and just, like, fill in that completely missed lost potential by myself. It's a smooth mushroom peggy kind of thing. Is it a mushroom peg? I can't tell. It's covered on both sides. Okay, so a whole bunch of rotating the rotaty parts on the digitigrade shapes. And then the entire pelvis swings on that hinge, so there's a tab and a slot there. Oh, I love this shape! I liked this when they revealed this toy and no one agreed with me, and I don't care because I don't have to like things that other people like. But, like, I love the shape so much. And that it tabs together there is just, like, choice. It's choice. It's pièce de résistance. This guy is turning into a friggin' noise maze plane. So I got that part. Oh, it's telling me to tab in something I thought I already tabbed in. Did I miss a tab in somewhere, then? Are these hands actually supposed to tab into something? I ain't seeing it. Yeah, the thing where I was like, I found the tab in, I can't see. It wasn't the hands. It's something else in here. I don't... Damned if I know. I'll have to go figure it out later. Alright. And then these parts do something. Yeah, I missed a trick with these hands. I think they were the thing that tabbed in somewhere, but I can't tell. Bums me out, because, like, obviously one can say, like, it doesn't look like anything anyway, but I'm like, yeah, but if you're gonna make instructions that don't look like something, at least make the instructions look like something so I, like, have any idea what's going on, please. Especially when, like, I actually, personally, want to like the shape it's turning into. So, like, please allow me to. Kindly. Kindly let me enjoy it. Okay, Zimman, Sam Welbo, once you have him in the general shape, you'll be able to see where all the tabs go. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I just feel like there's a tab I missed somewhere that it told me about, and I still can't tell where it is. Are there, if you have the toy and you know, are there any tabs on his actual hands that are supposed to be doing something? That's the main thing I'm a little bit lost on, is if his hands are supposed to be doing something or not. Turn the middle side topwise. What does that mean? What is... Are you a Hasbro instructions designer? I mean that with love, Fink Sapphire. Alright, so these things... I'm gonna find it. I see it! Okay. So this tabs into here. Or at least one of these parts tabs into there. There we go. Oh, sick. I think it does something that I really like. Hang on. I'll finish, and then I'm going to check something. Because I think all this jointery, like, can interact. Yeah, like, you gotta hold it together a bit. But look, this can all flex in spaceship mode. So it's, like, different levels of, like... Oh my god, that's cool! Okay. So it's like the spaceship can, like, readjust as though it was an organic creature. This is why I like this shape, because I look at this and I'm like, this is like the shadows from Babylon 5. Like, I was on the podcast, I remember I was saying, to my mind's eye, this absolutely is a spaceship. Because these chasms here is where you just imagine, there's just a bunch of, like, transwarp energy buildup. Like, two friggin' black holes, like, form in these chasms to rocket the friggin' supposed-to-be robot god through space. I like it. Okay, you can put the weapon bits in here, too. It's gonna make me really stare at this to figure out what the hell you want me to do. Okay, I see. I see. It's like, what if a Space Invader became three-dimensional, you know? Especially with these parts put on, because now it literally... Can you not see this thing just in friggin' Galaga or something? Like, just this is the boss that comes in and fights you? I don't know, it's freaking cool. It's freaking cool. The old Fallen Toys alt mode, I remember, like, thinking at the time, like, it's neat, but it's like, I wish it did more. And this feels like it's more alive to me. This has real passion project energy. 100%. Like, you can still manipulate the foot parts, too, for, like, you know, oh, it's entering, like, this is the Death Blossom pattern for when it, like, fires the toe missiles or whatever. And then friggin', you know, let's tweak, let's tweak for, like, you know, tweak these down for friggin' hyperspeed stuff. Okay, that went farther than the tab could handle, but it just feels so organic in a fun way. There we go. I will probably want to thicken these tabs in here, the connectors on the kneecaps to the shoulders. I feel like that needs to be more rock solid. And yeah, now he's like slimmer down. Like you see, like they've got this sleeker slightly lower to the ground. And you're like, it's time to go into friggin' warp speed. These things like coil up slightly. Go a bit taller. There's like a language to these ligaments. It feels like you get better using them with time. Oh, this is so freaking cool. Like, it's just, you know, here, let me pull in an example, right? Nondescript shapes in but they form a threatening silhouette, right? And the same thing over here with the Fallen's alt mode. It's nondescript shapes, but in a threatening silhouette. I like this. If you're out there, that toy guy, thank you so much for this. It's super kind just to get a birthday gift for someone, because I'm also, like, I absolutely do not believe that, like, you know, it's my birthday, I'm owed gifts. I like getting gifts, but I'm never going to be like, hey you, where's my gift? So, like, I don't know. It was very touching. Like, and I've been... With all this stuff that started happening with my infestation problem really just breaking my brain in half right before convention, like, right now, acts of kindness really do a lot to make me feel enormous amounts of serotonin, so I appreciate that a lot. What do you call it? I'm full of highly active emotions. Threatening pointiness, that's right. Yeah, let's put him down here, put the camera down. Just gotta look at the docked Fallen. Yeah, he's just chilling. Got my landing gear out. Where is it? You can't see it. It's invisible. It's made of psychic energy. I'm gonna take a little sip. But yeah, that was all the stuff I wanted to open up. Space junk. You know what? No. You all be mean to him because he doesn't need any of you. He doesn't need any of you because he has me. And if everyone hates him, it means he has to love me even more. If he can't leave because people shout insults at him at the street, it means he can't leave my house. And if I break his legs and tie him to a bed, then he'll need me to feed him, or he'll die, and then he'll love me. That's a movie, right? That's like a movie. I'm doing a bit. By the way. Let me get these instructions. Out of the way. Space junk affectionate. Oh no, wait. No, you can't all start to love him. Then he might leave me. If you all love him, then he might leave me. I heard the Fallen is a racist! Just go around trying to dismantle the Fallens, like, everyone already hated him. And then, so finally, this toy made a bunch of people, you know what, though? Maybe the Fallen was okay. And I just go running around, just in the grip of jealous lust. Just spreading all of this horrible stuff so everyone hates him again. And I'd be like, Fallen, I don't know who said all of that about you. I don't know who could possibly hate you so much to do that to you, but I would never because I'm the only one who loves you. Toy Protection Services. You can't prove anything, alright? Anyway, this is all to illustrate the joys of headcanon, and how with just enough headcanon, you too can enjoy the fun and the fulfillment, and even the pathos of a little bit of imagination. So I gotta get some of this mess off of my desk. This is so messy now. I still gotta film him on his backdrop for my B-roll. You have poor imagination, don't worry. Because as long as you exercise your imagination muscle, then you too can do anything you dream of. I don't know why I'm talking like that. There we go. So we've been at this for not quite 2 hours. So let's hey, I'm trying to figure out how to make structured streams. Let's pop over to have a little look at what's in the news. Some fun news we can look at. Let's look at the fun news. What's in the news? Includes box office run as the lowest earning live action Transformers film to date. I bet everyone's being super normal about that. Let me move this over a little bit. I bet all the fans are being 100% absolutely normal, and and they're not acting like weirdos at all about this news. You know, whatever. We had like 4 that were like the top box offices. We already won. Who cares? You know? At least that's my outlook. It's like, look, we already had a bunch of wins, so it happens. Other intellectual property feature films are allowed to do better. Don't look at Nacelle, huh? What? Are you talking about all this flippity flap stuff up here? I don't look at that. That doesn't even exist to me. God forbid we have movies that care more about how well they do on stream. Yeah. Lowest earning live action Transformers film to date since the pandemic driven shift to streaming. Face, I think the higher ups were going to take the wrong lesson from this movie if it did well or if it did badly. that's how I would put it. People's nacelles have been coming with mold on the what? Wait, which nacelle? Because there's like 50 nacelles now, right? Is it the Tetrajet one? Why am I doing this? Hang on, I'm a little off center here. Okay, there we go. Oh, when someone said TFP Ratchet, did you mean up there? Did you mean there, Frosty? Yeah, that is TFP Ratchet. I repro-labeled him and put him there, and he's been there for like 6 years because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to live my life. I put him there, and he lives there now. He's in front of that company that died immediately. That's that G1 animation model action figure Devastator with ratchet joints. It's really cool. Something before and after. Before and after. Anyway, those two just live together there. From what I've seen, it's only on one specific wing in every example. That's super friggin' weird. I don't actually feel anything about nacelles, so like I'm probably never going to be subject to this, but I had no idea that there was. I wonder what happened. What does Nacelle's packaging look like? Is it a window box or is it a closed box? My keyboard is buried under Junkion parts in the Fallens, and I don't know. My wireless one that I got to not have this problem is not here. It's in another room because I really have my life together. Closed Amazon box. Do you all think that like they were all just like sitting on like one side in a puddle or something and then got dried off? Because like Occam's razor brain is telling me that's not what I'm thinking would have happened then. If it's always the same wing, that means it's the same sector of every box. Therefore, that side must have been like laying down in something that would have got mold on it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing. In a situation like this, you either can get angry at the mold, and the... It's a weird thing to say. The mold doesn't care. The mold can't think. Or you can, like, I don't know, try to puzzle out what on earth happened. as a fun brain exercise, you know? Anything could have happened. Someone could have gone in there and just sprinkled mold organisms on that stuff because they hate nacelle. I don't know. That took me right off my rocker. I was going through the front page. What else is on here? Let's get this good news. KGBO Cross Killer Body Dark of the Moon Scalpel. $168, full of stuff. Oh, they got a picture next to NPM Jazz. I hadn't heard about this thing. Is this licensed? It's licensed? I assume it's licensed because it has the words. And it has the... Okay, it has a Hasbro logo on it. What? What? Low-key, I want one. Get angry at the mold or you can clean off the mold. I mean, yeah. Did this thing get announced somewhere? And I missed it? Because this looks sick. 32 articulation points, LED lights, and sounds? What sounds does it make? Does he say the line? Is there a demo of the sounds? Like, does he say the line? Where's the sound box, even? Where does it fit? Wasn't there one of these? No, there was one of... Oh, wait, I'm remembering something. I think this was announced. Because someone was like, why does it say Dark of the Moon? And it's because one of these things was crawling on Megatron in Dark of the Moon. And that's, I guess, how they were able to get the license. So I guess he doesn't say the line. Then what noise does he make? Because the little thingamies don't say things in Dark of the Moon. Red Cross logo? Oh. Well, no, because you see, he cut it. So it's... I want one. I don't want to spend, like, 200 Canadian on it. So I'm probably not going to have one, but in the moment, I want one, because I like Scalpel. That's cool. Maybe it'll say the line anyway. I hope so. There don't seem to be any demos here. I'm going to scroll down on a TFW thread, so brace. I don't see any video links. I see Red Cross Discourse, not looking. Difference is people are fighting. Alright, we're going to get out of here. Frosty, the stream is blocking you. Yeah, I'm not even seeing a URL. That just came through as Advangelist. I think that, yeah, YouTube just doesn't let anyone but the streamer post URLs now. Can you Discord it to me? Because I can take a Discord link. I mean, this is really silly that I have to cross-post the stuff for us, but... oh, okay, here. Oh, it's hiding it's hiding the noises because it's in streamer mode. That's why. Okay. Hang on, I'm going to drag and drop this. Apparently Scalpel is 80 USD, but the... Oh, it's in Asian markets for 168 approximately. Wait, for 168 what? Is that HKD? Am I part of the problem now after I was going like, look at all these people who don't know how to read Yellow Park's website? Oh, here, CAD. Huh? Oh, that's frequently bought together. Okay, we're... Oh! It's like 80 CAD. Never mind, I might buy one sometime. I need more money, but... Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm set onto CAD, so it's 79.71 Canadian. So in USD, that's going to be even... It's 59 USD. Okay. That should say HKD. Because I was about to... I would have believed 168 USD, because I'm like, hey, maybe it's a small company, and it's a detailed piece. I could see that. Hey, Face, you should figure out what the shipping is, and if it's worth combining shipping, given that we may be in proximity to each other at some point. Anyway, let's continue down the front page news. Oh, no, before I do that, okay, here we go. From Frosty Cubed, Sabertron's thing on the fungal growth. What a weird headline. Fans reporting fungal growth Let's look at some fungus. Oh, that's screwed up. Oh, I thought it was gonna be like, you know, like some black sludge. That's actually freaky spores. I don't like it at all. Also, that's not HKD in the news story. The HKD price is $460. Then what's the $160? I don't know. Maybe it was that price originally and there was like something wrong. Oh, the frequently bought together price. You're right. You're right. That threw me off. Because, okay, let's look at that again. I want to show you something. Because I was thrown off by the fact that when you go to the item page, do any of you see a price on here? Because I don't. I only know the price because when I added it to cart, it popped up there on the upper right. But if you scroll down, then okay, 168 there. That's if you buy 2 high-end baby figurines as well. I don't need those. We solved it. Everyone's right. Hooray! We win. Do you guys demo the sounds on here? Oh, okay. You all see it? Exclusive sound effect. Intermittent buzzing noise. I can make that myself. But no, we can put some batteries on it. I'm sure it sounds better than that. I want to put some brain on the table. Yeah. Pre-order canceled. Intermittent buzzing noise is a good band name, Zim Man. We can spend money on goods and services. Tinnitus. Do they got a demo of the sound anywhere in here? No. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big problem. I always feel sort of a need, just given the state, right, of talking about pop culture on the internet. Hang on. I keep thinking I'm sitting low in my chair. I can just move me up. There, I fixed it. Anyway, given the state of talking about pop culture on the internet, I do feel I should add a little footnote to all this. I'm actually okay with it. I think it's funny to act like the intermittent buzzing noise is the end of the world. It sure is a little disappointing that is the sound effect, but at the end of the day, I think it's pretty funny that the advertised sound effect is described as exclusive intermittent buzzing noise. Especially the part where it says exclusive. That's my favorite part of that. So I actually love it. Anyway. Labyrinth, if it had your sound effects, I'd buy. I mean, I could... Anyone know how to reprogram a sound chip? Because we can get on that. As a community, we can get on that. Anyway, let's look at fungus again. Look at that. That's freaky. That's screwed up. Things shouldn't do that. That's all like misty and stuff. That looks like it's actually crawling. I hate it. I'm going to stop looking at that. Thank you for the link, though, Frosty. That I thought it was going to be like little black smudges. You know, like shower mold. This is infinitely worse looking to me. Because there's also a lot of it on some of these. Like, God. I'm a little affected by the bedbugs thing, but like I couldn't imagine ever feeling like I cleaned all of it off. Let's see. An officially licensed print by Luke Priest. So the first thing I was wondering is this traced? Because whenever officially licensed Transformers prints come out, that seems to happen half the time. Someone here says, looks familiar. Okay, so it is meant to look like that shot. That's fine. That could be a reference. The thing, though, is I was thinking this looked kind of weird because, like, how do I put this? The rest of the body looks weird. I'm gonna scroll down the thread, see if anyone else is looking at this. Okay, it looks awesome. Hang this on my wall. Okay, people are generally... Okay, I'm not gonna be mean. What's the grid one look like? That's neat. That does look okay. That looks better. Because this one I don't... At a glance, this one looks like something algorithmically filled in parts of the body to me. And I don't think that's what happened, because this... Hang on, I gotta switch back over to here. This looks like intent. This looks like the actual print. But yeah, that forced perspective is weird. Hello, Brian! You're at work. Have a good work when you catch the VOD later. Hello? Murder Prime video essay when? Is there much to say that hasn't already been said? Is there... I'm getting a thing right now. I gotta rotate my shoulder a little bit. I gotta cup this. I gotta burn my rotator. I'm a Transformers fan. I speak entirely in references. Come! Yeah, because there was... Yeah, V-Writer, there was that Power Rangers Day shirt that, like, traced a photo of the Super Robot, Chogokin Megazord, and... Yeah. Yeah, also holding the cannon like a gun. I mean, he does it, right? Sometimes. It was weird. Luke Priest did fine. People like it. That's what's important. I like this. Marcelo Matier did concept art on something for the mysterious LA design team. I love looking at concept art of the kids' toy things, because, like, you know, this version has some inherent visual jank, right? Inherent visual jank, you know? But then, yo, this looks cool. And, like, you know, I don't expect him to make a toy that looks exactly like the artwork. This is concept art, but, like, I think that's neat. It's also neat to see, like, this, I'd call him the teenage version of Rise of the Beast Scourge. Like, young Scourge. That's just a cool take. And, like, I feel like this could inspire future toys, right? Some of the harder detail on this stuff. I like how the Scorpion also, like, is like, hairy and spiky and just looks gross. I like stuff like this. Let's get that tail interview. There we go. Wanted to do a supercut of all of live-action Prime's murderous or pseudo-fascist moments contrasted with clips of his warmth and kindness from G1. I would say doable. That sounds like doable. Pee-pee poo-poo, we need to hear Murder Prime headcanons. I've talked about them before. I don't want to bore everybody. Like, headcanon-wise, my main one that I know did not come from a comic book is the Dark of the Moon Optimus with the wings. You know, the trailer turns into, like, the six-winged, like, apocalypse cannon armor. To me, that was, at the time, and when Dark of the Moon was coming out, I was like, is this the end tale of Optimus Prime in the movieverse? Is that, like, he merges with his armor and, like, turns into, like, a demonic angel of Armageddon who points his Buster Cannon at the Earth and says, I am Optimus Prime, and shoots the Earth and destroys the universe? Like, that was always my movie Prime headcanon. Anyway, that artwork looks good. Oh yeah, Bishojo Starscream has extra faces. I'm not really, like, I think they look fine. I'm not the target audience for statues in general, so the Bishojo stuff is mostly, you know, the designs. I think the design, when someone pointed out to me the zipper on the wings, right, so it's actually like a keyboard bag or something, I thought that was a cool take. I don't get the apple. So there's face one, where's the other face? Excuse me? Where's the other face? Where's the other face? Oh, there it is. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, the cockpit tie, yeah. The designs on these are slick. Apple for scale, yeah. Everyone has apples. Yeah, all apples are the same size, I'm sure. But yeah, like, these designs, slick. Slick. Like, there's cool decisions made. On the cockpit tie. The belt on Megatron having, you know, the Megatron doodly bopper color things. Ow! Oh, ow! That one came out of nowhere. Excuse me. I got a burr in my rotator again. Eh. Eh. Ah. If there's one thing about the Megatron that is slightly off-putting, it's that, like, I think they're, like, a hair's breadth away from, like, check it out, a Nazi! Which, you know, I don't think you actually need to do for a Megatron anymore. No, Labyrinth, I gotta... how do I put... I explained this last stream. Right before TFCon, I found a couple bed bugs in a bed that is no longer here. And it sent me into a sort of panic anxiety spiral. And one of the first things that happens when I get super stressed out is I have like a cluster of nerves under my left shoulder blade that ball up into a fist. And between that and sleeping on a couch, I had like a bad pinched nerve for the last like week. It's feeling better. But every now and then it still kind of fires up because the positions it wants to be in are weird. It also could be getting old, but I know this very much was tied to panic anxiety. It was specifically a panic anxiety attack when I thought that there were, like, how do you put this? I thought that there were giant pustule-covered cockroaches in my apartment. Turns out there was just one, and it's very dead and crushed and no longer in here, nor any of its remains. And there was a big puddle of neurotoxin where it was obliterated. Physically. I then neurotoxined the area so that all organisms die in the radius of the neurotoxin. Anyway, that's how to explain why I have a shoulder ache. And yeah, I've just not been... My brain's been on it. I've been highly emotional and my brain's not been doing well. I may well have had my mom on the phone and then out of the blue said, I want a donut! I want 2 nice donuts! Why can't I find nice donuts in town? I deserve one! And I changed the subject. Take it easy, Zimman. Bishoujo. Anyway, not my thing, but the designs I think are generally doing neat stuff. Oh, Face, you're trying to place it, they won't ship to your address? Why would they put CAD on the site? Okay, but BBTS is getting them. Oh, okay. I assume they'll get a bunch. Rider Strike, yeah, feeling it. I mean, I've been whining about this, but, like, you know, I think I'm allowed to whine. I've decided I've been having, like, ever since I did this bounce back thing, it's been making me think a lot about, like, you know, ways to approach when my brain is bad. And one of them is, like, I'm trying to assert to myself more often that, like, it's actually okay for me to feel bad. It's normal. And I'm allowed to want to do nice things to myself, like have donuts or buy a pizza. Even if I don't. Yeah, it's all good, Face. If Big Bad's getting them and they're cheaper there, I can figure something out. Like, I have a set of Make Toys MPM, or not MPM, Make Toys Remaster Starscream wing fillers that suddenly came into stock after a pre-order that I had and forgot about for, like, the entire pandemic. So I have 60 days, or I guess 50-some days now to ship them to me, so I have to ship from them eventually. These wing fillers. Pee-pee poo-poo. No, I have not. I do not get the neurotoxin on myself. I've been good about that. But I have stress and anxiety-related musculature nerve pinching that happened that made me unhappy. Yeah, Make Toys is in such a weird place. You know who's not in a weird place? Beast Wars again. How many people have you seen talking about how they're going to replace all their Kingdom toys? I actually am like, I feel like I'm in the minority now where I'm like, I would like to replace all of my Kingdom toys with these, but I can't afford to. And I'm okay with the Kingdom toys. So I'm just chilling. But these do look sick. The first 2-pack is out now, right? Like, I heard Wotafa got the one with Megatron and Primal in it. I haven't looked at the video yet. Yeah, Wheeljack64. Me! I'm gonna list the rest tomorrow. Go buy his. Oh god, those fillers mimicry. Oh god, those fillers. The other two Make Toys Coneheads finally released. The fillers are so superfluous. Yeah, I don't even know. I ordered the fillers because I only have the Starscream. Because I like Despotron, and I like the Starscream, and I like how there's a Despotron hand for him to be strangling the Starscream, and I'm like, I like these two toys as a pair of toys, so I would like wing fillers, sure. And then I forgot about, and now I'm gonna get them. So okay, good. I have wing fillers. I am fulfilled. Those fillers have filled the hole in the wings on my heart. They have filled the holes in the wings on my heart. Thank you, Labyrinth. I hope I feel better soon, too. I'm kind of sick of not feeling good. I also, part of the reason I'm not feeling good is, like, it's a multi-step process. I need to declutter, I need to pack for a trip next month, and I need to get a new bed so I have an actual bed to sleep on. And all of those things have to, like, one of those has to allow for the other one, has to allow for the other one. And I've spent weeks mostly just, like, how do you put this? I get some things done, and then I feel so exhausted, I just, like, collapse on the couch, and I spend, like, 1.5 days on the couch friggin' watching, what are my 2 things I've been watching the most of? 3 things. I've been watching Magic the Gathering Commander channels, I've been watching Lorcana deck techs, and I've been watching VTubers. And, like, that's all getting me through the day, but, like, I am shutting down so constantly, and I don't like it. And I get the most active when I'm not in here, but then I go out and I, like, go co-work at a coffee shop or something, get lots of stuff done on my laptop, and then I get back here and collapse. And the part where I need to declutter all my depression clutter, and get a bed in here and make my actual living space nice isn't happening, and I think that's an issue. And the main problem is, to put it simply, and incredibly immaturely, I'm not good at doing this by myself! And I kind of have to, because, like, even though there's no real signs of life anymore, the fact that a lot of this was predicated on the specter of bedbugs means that, like, and I don't blame anyone, there aren't a lot of people, like, jumping to go, like, I'll come over and help, because, like, yo, what if there's some kicking around? I don't know. I don't think there are, but, this stuff has been so brutally stigmatized. Half the reason I talk about it so much is to make me feel better, because I do when I do talk about it. The other half is to hopefully normalize slightly the idea of that specific urban infestation, because if they happen, it's not your fault, most likely. It took me at least 2 weeks to accept that it's not my fault they came in here, because there's no thing most anyone would do other than go outside to cause them to show up, or live in a building, so, like, but there's this huge stigma on especially them that I'm finding so annoying. Anyway, I'm kind of, like, going all over the place. 3 of you want to know what VTubers I'm watching. Oh. So I mean, like, the main ones who are the ones that I have been going to watch their stuff, because while there are other ones that are fun to see on those things, like when they're all, being friends and whatnot, the main 3 that I've been going to as nexus points are Onigiri, Trickiwi, and Akuma Nimune, because I'm finding, like, I'm getting good vibes off of them, and like, the introduction to my brain of the concept of a messy Numi core existence feels chillingly parallel to some of my own, and there's sort of a comfort in seeing that other people can also, non-derogatory, live horribly and be good at it. So that's but yeah, I've been watching. I found out, because I was like, I should look into this, because I have no idea if there's, like, some really horrible underbellies to the very notion of the VTuber thing. All the ones I watch are indie. So that means, like, when I've seen friends going, like, I can't believe that they graduated these two that I really love and it's all freaky, and I looked up what graduation is, and, like, all due respect, the notion of graduating VTubers sounds like they are literally killing them, and I know they're not. But everything about the presentation of it sounds like human death. So I'm not really, like, I haven't really, and I've seen some clips, I don't really get anything out of the what feels like the duplicate of the pop idol industry that is happening, that comes with a lot of the, it feels like a lot of the downsides too. Anyway, I feel nothing wrong with it. It's just like the ones who connected with me are all independent ones, so they, you know. Frosty, has anyone asked me about my thoughts on Missing Link as of yet? I don't think on here. Toy Guy asked me, like, when we were wandering around Fan Expo. I was like, let me go find a Missing Link news item. Pfft, here it is. Everyone's talking about it. Tell me that, okay, this won't, these are 3 photos of the accessories. This won't illustrate anything. Where's a picture of Missing Link? Hang on. Let's go to Toy Colors. That's the one that matters. Amazon Japan. Sponsor agnostic. Okay, here we go. It's Missing Link. Okay. You're showing items that ship to Canada. Thanks. That's okay. I love how Amazon's always trying to jump the gun and go like, oh, you want it? The matrix of readership. Yeah, Joe Talk, that's the thing, is like, so what graduation actually is the contract is ending and the performer is moving on. But, like, okay, here's the part where I'm gonna hot take something. Here's the part where, as an outsider, for the most part, to the deeper, heavier enthusiast culture of the VTuber viewer, right? I think graduation is, like, possibly inflicting actual psychic damage on younger viewers, because it seems to me, maybe this is different with these what's the word? There's a word for it, not industry, the ones who are not independent, the ones who are under a blanket company. Anyway, regardless, a lot of what VTubing seems to be is, at the end of the day, it's still personality-driven streaming, right? It's generally, it feels like the code was cracked, that VTubing works. Agency, that's the word, yeah. So the way that it seems VTubing really works is not when you are portraying a character 100% kayfabe, but when there's at least, let's say, 45 to 85% of just you, the person, under a pseudonym with full visual anonymity, if you so choose. That can get a bit shaky here and there, whatever. But it's still a personal connection between streamer and viewer, with all of the parasocial risks, but more anti-parasocial protections, obviously, because it's not a face there. But it's still a connection, right? That can be, and given what streaming has become since 2020, where it can take up a lot of your media time, and it can be absolute, like, actual mental health comfort to people. Connecting that together with graduation, which is essentially the death of the character the VTuber portrayed. So my understanding is, even if they go on to do VTubing or streaming somewhere else, it is implied that you will never ever have a confirmation, for the most part, of whether it's the same person, and they probably won't ever really act as the same person 100%. It's a very muddy pseudo-kayfabe that comes with the notion of in-character sort of death that I think is really, really unhealthy. I think it's really unhealthy. And I think that the VTubers, for the most part, seem to be trying to make it as healthy as possible, and the agencies seem to not give a crap, and seem really not, I'm not going to say they're down with it, but I don't remember the names, but there are 2 male VTubers who are leaving Hollow Live under weird auspices with no farewell videos, And then I was like, well, at least their channels will be around. Then I went to dig in a little bit more, and it sounds like when a VTuber graduates, their friggin' channel disappears, which is screwed up beyond belief to me, I think. Yeah, when all their VODs get taken down, that is absolutely deranged, because, like, how do you put this? That is akin to literally killing the streamer without actually killing the streamer. Okay, their channels stay up? I don't know, so it sounds like some agencies take the channels down, some of them take it up. Also, this part where sometimes, but then sometimes not, where like that there's a huge veil of vagary. Anyway, this is why I'm happy watching a bunch of independent VTubers, because I feel like if any of them stop doing it, it will be like a normal streamer stopping doing things, where they'll just say, I'm taking a break, I'm stepping back, but, you know, whatever. It feels less like a human is being both removed from the viewer, and that the viewers are being removed from the human. Anyway, yeah, dystopian is kind of how... And I hate saying that, because I think that stuff has been really helpful to a lot of people, and obviously... I've recently become an independent VTuber enjoyer, as some of my idle entertainment and background streams and videos I run on my TV when I'm doing stuff. So, like, I appreciate that there's stuff in there, but yeah, like, the agency end of VTubing sounds so horrifying to me, because it reminds me of a lot of things that made the idol industry sound horrifying to me as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, okay, Alan Weaver, Coco and Pikami are two of the biggest VTubers that are just these people. It's ridiculously obvious. Yeah, it's weird. It's very odd, and I appreciate that those two performers are not trying to hide anything, because they shouldn't. Because I think taking ownership of a human personality is a step too far, is what I will call it. It is a step much too far. Anyway, that was a tangent. But also, 3 of you said, tell me the VTubers. So there you go, I told you the VTubers. It's weird. I wouldn't mind talking about it more, but, like, I feel like I'm also really, like... How do you put this? I'm absolutely an outsider to all this. And, like, when it comes to graduating VTubers from agencies, like, I kind of don't want to get close to that. Personally, I don't mind observing it academically, but then I feel like that's a little bit cold to do when, like, you know, I got friends who are bummed out about, Magni and Vesper, that whole disappearance thing. So, like, I don't really want to coldly, academically scalpel apart that stuff, because I feel like I'd be doing that to a couple friends of mine, inadvertently. Oh, if you're right, the 2 who left, you happen to find 2 indies who happen to act and sound like them. And I don't... How do I put this? I think VTubing will survive as a medium, and I think that the agency side of it will implode and move on to something else, is what I think. That's what I think. But I don't know how long the agencies have been around. Because, like... And then when I was digging around in all this stuff, what was it? I was reading something else. And most of my digging around is me Googling names and then reading, like, what, the VTuber wiki and TV tropes. So, you know, like I said, I'm an absolute layman. But I remember that I was one of those casual folks who was observing when Kizuna Ai was all over Twitter for like a week, and I was like, huh, this is weird. And, like, what I've seen is it's like, the current whereabouts of Kizuna Ai are unknown, and I'm like, that I understand that could just be the performer step back, and that's that. And I saw a thing about how they attempted to have a different person portray that VTuber, and that kind of proved that you can't do that. But also, that read super weird to me, where they're like, yeah, the Kizuna Ai, whereabouts unknown, and I'm like, does someone friggin' stick her in a box? Like, what? Anyway. Keep cringing at hearing TV tropes mentioned. My apologies. I also, when I get onto a TV tropes hole, eventually about an hour or two in, I'm like, I should go check mine. I still have a TV tropes page, and someone keeps updating the formatting, not the content of it, the formatting. And I'm like, I appreciate that. Adam Keen, thank you very much for the happy birthday wishes. Just so before, in case anyone joined and didn't hear this, today is not my birthday. My birthday happened late August. I just spread the window out, because why should it all happen on one day when that's not convenient for everybody else? And also, I was talking about some birthday haul stuff on the stream. That is why birthday stuff relevant. But also, I appreciate birthday wishes, because well wishes are cool. Okay, Alan Weaver. There are agencies like VShojo don't own the characters, so someone can just be themselves elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, that seems like that's how that should work. And I'm going to make a guess. I'm sure that there are probably some companies that have projected doing that, and I'm sure there have been. You all probably know better than me, so I'm going to assume that even in those agencies, there has been some kind of real ugly IP throwdown at some point. Or that it will happen in the next 2 years. But I don't want to be negative about it. Oh, yeah, Picky Peeves. When I think TV tropes, I mostly think like a funny pseudo-wiki page, not like... How do you put this? Not like actual media literacy. That sounds really mean, but I don't know how else to put that. James C., thank you so much for the happy belated birthday. Okay, V-Rider, so not any that you know of yet. I would say, like, don't brace, but, like, don't be surprised if that happens at some point, because I feel like the agency structure, even on a small scale, eventually will attract the kind of, it will attract the kind of folks who went into nufties and are now doing algorithmic generation and pretending it's an artificial sentience and etc. Super chat, Chris Carnage. You don't have to super chat me. You gave me a toy as well. Chris, super chat from Carnage Creations. That's who sent me Scraphook off my wish list. Thank you so much. If you go back in the stream eventually at some point, I opened him up. I stuck him to a bunch of crash bars. Okay, no IP disputes yet, but never say never. Yeah. Also, Picky Peeves, yeah, if someone, like, spoke from authority to me using TV tropes pages as references, I would probably laugh and feel really bad about how hard I laughed. Because, I mean... Okay. So, I also I can't turn off my empathy. It's like it's a gift and a curse that I have a lot of empathy, and I don't mean that as, like, how cool I am. It's just an observable characteristic I've noticed over the years. So, I can see the situation where there is a ligament generation being, ones that are kind of, in between the major ones people always say. I'm sure there's a ligament generation who simply, that's just how they learned a lot about the media they like, because it's what was there and what was talked about. And I can see the situation where, like, that's just, someone would use that as a call to authority without knowing any better. And so, I would feel really bad about that if I started laughing. But also, I could see how it could be very irritating, because, yeah, if you try to actually categorize media into TV tropes pages, it's like... You can kind of get some positive, constructive stuff out of that, but I feel like at least 40% of it is kind of deconstructive, unconstructive, deconstructive. Kind of like... checking tick boxes for the sake of checking tick boxes more than for the sake of, like, fruitful... observation. I don't know. Also, by the way, because like 3 or 4 of you were doing it, hey, thanks for asking to talk about VTuber, because I've just been watching that stuff by myself and thinking, hey, this is neat, and the wider discourse around that stuff is, as mentioned, terribly spooky. So I've kind of just been keeping to myself about that. It's like when I watched Steven Universe. I still haven't finished it. I didn't watch the time skip season, but I will sometime. But I was watching it, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. Let me go look at people talking about it. Oh! And then, like, kind of keeping to myself. And just watching it by myself and enjoying it. The moon is in a really scary position in the window. Well, yesterday was a supermoon, right? So I would assume that we're in the, what is it? We're in the post-supermoon. It's still, it's a little uber, but not super. Biggie B's, I had to hardcore do that with Steven Universe and Voltron way back. Yeah, I could see that. It's unfortunate. It's why I try not to, when I'm streaming, I'll talk about whatever. Like I'll say like, yeah, I've been watching some VTubers because like, as I said, I try to establish in my personal circumference wherever I happen to be it streaming or like on one of the social platforms or whatever, or in a channel. I try to make the personal circumference around me a generally chill place. Within reason, and like in the rules for my Discord, I added a part where it's like, I was on TFW 2005 when it had a news and politics subforum before 9/11 and during 9/11. So I can tell when someone is trying to rules lawyer their way into being a scumbag in those venues. So like, I just try to have a personal circumference of like, it's okay to just like enjoy a thing without getting like hard into it, and you just think a thing is cool. That Superman of a big toothy face, because that's bad. I don't know. It's big and glowy blue, I think. Gabe VJ, have you tried explaining what a VTuber is to someone who doesn't know? Yeah, I tried to tell my mom. And her initial reaction was like, that sounds weird. And I was like, yeah. But like, the way I've always looked at VTubing is like, obviously, like, with a lot of VTubing does skew, it seems, at least, again, I don't know, but in my viewpoint, it skews towards female streamers. What is the one thing that female streamers, especially with face cams, have to deal with? It's people staring, hang on, it's people staring at them, like this, right? And then, let's say that they're streaming and this happens, right? Like that. And then immediately you get a comment, what the hell is wrong with your hair? Right? Or if they're streaming, and then they cough, and they go, and someone goes like, you suddenly got so unbelievably fat! You're so fat! Because they were like this, right? So I can totally see how someone who wants to get into streaming, who identifies or is at least like visually coded female, would perhaps find something valuable in the notion of like, hey, what if I can stream, put my personality out there, take the mental and emotional risks, and not have the physical and visual risks of deranged scumbags trying to identify when I get a double chin from looking down, so they can start screaming that I'm fat. Because a whole lot of people have no idea what fat means. Face forward, we're talking, because I don't know if you know this, but Missing Link Convoy's lore is that this is a dimension where the G1 Convoy toy, instead of getting, glow-upped to look like the cartoon, instead just became a PNG tuber. And that, now in 2023, he's able to afford a model, get a face rig, and now he's a VTuber. That's the actual official lore of Missing Link Convoy. But yeah, like, to me, one of the cruxes of VTubing is that you're able to experiment with the medium without taking on the full and legitimately terrifying risks of being seen as well, without also just being like a completely like you have no physical or no visual identity, right? Oh yeah, faces. As I mentioned, I've been watching VTubers, and then like, I got a whole bunch of people saying, what VTubers? And I was like, hey, you want to know what VTubers are? I'll tell you. And now we got into this whole side topic. Potato Potato, that's why my sibling does PNG Tuber. They got a lot of that and decided to use their art for their streams. Yeah, exactly. Like, and yeah, Sideswipe Prime, like, there are people who are still, like, I'm watching 3 of the top indie VTubers, but, like, also, they got a whole lot of freaks in their chats as well, right? Like, regardless, it will still happen. But at least there is like this what I would call controllable layer, at least, between them. But yeah, like that one 4chaner who, and also like in 2023, a 4chaner, right? Hey. There's a whole lot of people in the general toy collector circle who used to hit that toy board back in like 08, 09. I mean, people still go there to check stuff out, but like you don't really advertise it anymore because like I actually gotta quickly. I've had this fan pointed at my face the whole time. I gotta blow my nose. Um. Um. Hey, what's that? Woohoo! Ha! Blah, 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 blah. Imagination! Hi. Yeah, there's at least, Picky Peeves, there's at least enough degrees of separation for the performer's sake. Making wontons from your nose? Okay. That's clever. I hate it. So, Missing Link Convoy. I think this thing looks really cool. And I think that the price makes sense to my brain as well. I don't think that they're trying to pull the wool over anyone. You know, I don't think that there's anything like, oh, I can't believe they're upcharging just to take advantage of your nostalgia. Like, the price makes sense to me given that this toy is actually basically a completely new toy from the ground up that is mimicking an old toy. The bummer is, so the idea of old toy but with modern joints, I love that on Masters of the Universe Origins because to me, it actually feels like a playable art toy. Because it is a very art concept, take an old thing and add joints to it. A very toy art concept to me is take an old thing and add joints to it. There's something really sort of art toy about it, even though it is, like, you know, absolutely corporate in how it is owned and delivered, of course. But, like, there's something kind of cool. How much is it? No, it's not showing up on my Amazon Japan page because it's the pre-orders can't be, like, the pre-orders are done. But it's like, what was it? Rounding up, I think in Canadian dollars, it was like about $100 for the anime one without the trailer, and about $150 for the toy one with the trailer. I think in Canadian. I think anyway. So I like the vibe it's given off, and I like the aesthetic, especially on this Prime. When I saw that they had the fists fold in, I was like, okay, that actually linchpins it for me. That you guys are kind of like, you're doing the thing on just the right razor's edge, right? The bummer is, part of the reason I like Masters of the Universe Origins is that they're really neat little art toys, and also they're impulse purchasable when you find them in an actual store and not in a dealer room. Like, that's why I have some, because they were like $15-20. It's way different when, okay, so A3U's prices. So when you trend into 110 to 180 Canadian dollars, it's way F different. So I can't really feel excited to pre-order it. I would love to pick it up, but like it by virtue of what it is, it also loses the thing that made me jump right onto some Modu Origins, right? And like there are a lot of folks who are like, I pre-ordered both. This is the best toy I've ever seen. It's exactly what I want. I think it looks really cool. It is not exactly what I want forever. I think that what it is really cool and excellently delivered. But it's not my toy. And like, the only reason I think it looks neat is because of the jointing and the fact that it is an old toy that's being made like modern toys, because I like modern toys more than old toys. That's just my taste. So nostalgia doesn't really hook me in that much compared to what the toy itself does. So the nostalgia hook of this is kind of like, I can appreciate it, but it doesn't actually hook me. Like the box art being a new pose, but in the exact same style as the original box art, I think is a stroke of genius, and artistically speaking, it's beautiful. But it doesn't make me want to buy it. I just think it's really cool. And then also, I have absolutely no real feelings to an anime colors version of this. It's logical to do it, but like I think Toy Colors is the way on this because that is the whole aesthetic. Also, yeah, that art is by the same artist, which is friggin' cool. So I think this is really cool, and I think people who are hyped about it are absolutely. I would be hype about it if this, you know, if also if it was $30, I'd be super hype about it. But then it wouldn't exist. But like, the nostalgia hook side of it is the least interesting part to me. And then the sort of, you know, the growing conversation of like, will this be a full line, is kind of like, yo, okay, here's the thing. There are some, like, if this became a full line, which, like, I think would be interesting, but I don't think is going to happen. I think they might do more, but I don't think it's going to be like, we're going to do everyone, right? There are some G1 toys where, like, their legs are implied, you know? Like, like, there are some G1 toys that don't have a human body. Part of the reason this one works is the original toy formed a quantifiable bipedal humanoid body, right? G1 Sunstreaker doesn't have legs. G1 Sunstreaker has the implication of legs, visually. Hound doesn't have arms. Hound has two stubs with fists molded on the end, right? So, at that point, they're gonna, like, the Datsuns are my go-to. If they did this for the Datsun mold, the bottom half would just be Studio Series 86 Datsun with a slightly less puffy upper body. And at that point, that's what it's got to be, but then I'm kind of like, that is, for someone who is happy to make excuses and justifications for toys that many others see as redundant, that starts to roll into the realm of making me start saying, is this maybe kind of redundant? If that makes any sense. Because there are G1 toys that just, like, if you add joints to them, you've added brand new visuals. This one is 100% a brand new toy from the ground up, but it is calling to visual shapes that can exist on this toy. Like, G1 Megatron, if they did this to him, you know, that fake image that went around. There are parts of him that, like, don't exist, that would have to now exist for some of these joints to exist, right? G1 Sunstreaker. That toy with legs would no longer look like G1 Sunstreaker. What would Ironhide and Ratchet be? Like, what would they be, right? Yeah, example, what would you want out of a Missing Link Power Glide? Would you want that to split into legs? Would that now look like the old toy anymore? You know, like, there are a bunch of them where, like, oh, just split it and now it's legs. Just, like, that sort of makes it stop looking like the old toy now, though. Yeah, that Megatron one, I think, was confirmed to be a Photoshop job. If it was real, I was like, no, I want to see what you do, but, like, partly because G1 Megatron doesn't have body mass in places he would need to have it to have joints. Like, visual body mass. So, you know, like, I think this thing is really cool. I'm just, like, I'm not dropping everything to make sure I get it. I would like to pick one up, especially if the hand feel is there, because I think it would be fun. I think the ab crunch being there is also Chef Kiss inspired. And yeah, I expect this is a one-shot, or maybe they try to do one of the other Evergreen majors. You know, like they could do Grimlock like this, because Grimlock has all those parts in robot mode. I think they could do the Seeker like this, just that the legs would look super weird, and the arms would look, the elbows would look super weird, I think. But they could do it with those, I think. But, like, Megatron would be a push. Soundwave, yeah, Soundwave, they absolutely, because Soundwave is basically this toy, right, in robot mode. It has joints even that are there, they're just facing the wrong way, or they're limited in some way. So, you know, there are ones they could do it too. It's just like, every one of those would also be a new toy from the ground up. Like, they can't reuse any of the molding for these. So, Like, even if they did Ultra Magnus or Powered Convoy, like they would be designing that trailer from the ground up, and I think parts of that trailer would no longer look like the G1 toy if it is going to do all this stuff. And so the big question is, at what point, right, would some of these just become funnier looking classics or Studio Series toys? As opposed to a G1 toy that's moving the way you thought it would move when you were a kid, you know? So it's an interesting conversation to have. It's just like, I don't think there's a lot of venues for that conversation. Like, even I was thinking about maybe doing an OBS video about it, like, you know, one of these talkie videos, but then, like, at what point are people going to misinterpret that as me trying to be contrarian and trying to, you know, yuck everyone's yum when, like, no, I mean, like, I taste the yum. It's just, I think it's kind of expensive as a yum. It's like truffle fries, you know? Like, they taste good, but, like, spending a lot of money to put truffle on French fries. I do hope they do other colors of this to, you know, also to maximize the mold. But yeah, like, Magna Convoy colors would be cool. You know, white Magnus cab would be kind of neat, you know? That could be cool. Hey, we had Missing Link Convoy Discourse. Look at us. Is there anything else on the front page that was jumping out? Did you all see these? Reveals spoon! Wacky pack! There's something kind of neat about that. There's something kind of kitsch neat about this. I would eat with that spoon. My hand would hurt, but I would... I would use a spoon like that. Finally, a spoon. The Carl, do you remember discussing construct bits? Do you mean constructobots? Waveside. These are fine to exist. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that the sculpted molds for these are actually pretty friggin' nice. Like, look at all the friggin' detail in there to, like, make the spoon look intentional. I didn't get a good look at the other ones of these. Is that Jolt's alt mode as a spoon? That's kind of a cool idea. I also like they're the Earthspark ones, because, like, Alan Tudyk Optimus Prime transforming into a cereal spoon seems like in character. He's helpful. He's a good dad. Twitch, yeah, I said Jolt, didn't I? I got Armada brain rot. You gotta excuse me. Off naked Optimus. I didn't even think about that. Hang on. Yeah, you're right. It looks like he took all his clothes off. It's weird because Megatron doesn't, and Megatron always just looks like that. Like, Optimus is always sort of implied to be wearing a shirt. Oh, I would love to see these. Yeah, these have so much detail. Like, getting these painted up could be kind of neat. Alan Tudyk Optimus is like, I can be naked with you, Megatron, and everyone's just like, no, we did. No one even asked. No one even called him naked, Optimus Prime. Why did you? we were just sitting down having lunch. You walked in here and we're like, I'll be naked with you, Megatron. Mimicry. Twitch will eventually be one of those names they throw on like Jolt. Yeah, true. True. I don't mind though. I don't mind. It's fun to say. Almost as though it's an entire website that you tend to say. Yeah, no, oh, by the way, please don't drop spoilers for the ending of Earthspark yet, because, like, it's still new enough. I'm skittish about that. But also, yeah, I think it's worth catching up on. It's what I would call a good Transformers show. If you want to really sink knives into it, like any children's show, you can probably dissect out some weaknesses, but, like, me and Mikey from Moonbase 2 had a whole podcast about this. I can't remember if it was patron exclusive or not for his thing, but it's out there somewhere, I think, about, like, adults and how we as adults process and discuss media made for children. And, like, there's a whole, I really like it as a subject, because it's like, I think there's this level of self-awareness that makes it overall just, like, better for you as the adult watching and enjoying the thing that is made by adults, but for kids. Because, like, the through line, right, is it is made by adults. So, like, there are going to be appreciable things in there. And then, like, when you really want to sink into it, like, for instance, I was guilty of this when Transformers Prime was on the air. Because Transformers Prime is all full of a MacGuffin hunt, right? At certain points. And it's like, oh, they're searching for another MacGuffin of the week. This is getting weaker, this show. But then it's also like, what's a good through line for kids, though, right? What's a good through line? Having a thing to find every week. So, like, what's going on here? Someone's mashing one of the buttons. And it's going by too fast. I can't tell which one it is. Anyway. Yeah, like with Earthspark, the thing I would say is, like, if you were going to get into it as, like, a piece of media, you know, a primetime piece of media, the opening of Earthspark is fairly uneventful after the pilot. However, it's uneventful in service of, like, slice of life, kid life lesson episodes that, like, I genuinely found really cute and kind of fun and relaxing to watch. So, like, you know, in that case, and I will agree, like, Prime is also weird because, yeah, Prime took itself extremely seriously as a TV show. I just, in hindsight, I've always felt kind of weird about how really, like, when we were doing the weekly podcast about it, like, how I really kind of dug nails in on Prime over the MacGuffin hunts when I'm like, I do think it's, like, I'm not saying the critiques are invalid, I'm just, like, I think I didn't have the self-awareness that I wish I would have had about, like, that, you know, also it's a show to move a toy line to kids, especially when Prime was a show with kids' toys, right? Because I saw earlier, like, Earthspark, as a toy collector, Earthspark is a really, really depressing experience because it is a RID 2015 knee Cyberverse knee Earthspark where it's like, I got 6 kind of deluxes I can go after every year. Woo! I hope they make... Oh, some of them are just Cyberverse ones again. Oh, they announced a Prowl. You know, like the... like, I think it's really exciting that the deluxe Walmart computer listing leaks showed more Terrans, because, like, the idea that any of the Terrans are going to get deluxe toys, I'm still, like, they're gonna... If they do Thrash, and you know, like, I didn't think they were going to do deluxe Thrash. I'd actually written it off. I've still written off that hashtag will get any toys beyond the finger puppet, except for maybe an Ultra that will be a massive shell former like Ultra Shadow Striker from Cyberverse. I fully expect there to never be a remotely satisfying hashtag toy, because she's too weird. She's a Terran, and she turns into a big thing. So, like, I expect that we will come out of Earthspark never having a hashtag that matches with the deluxe Terrans, with whom Twitch already doesn't really, likely, is not really probably going to match anyway. But, like... Well, back when Classics Deluxes were $15, that also was 10 years ago. A decade has passed. It's 2010. I'm purchasing Classics for $15. It's 2016. I'm wondering what happened in America. It's 2021. I haven't left my house for a year. It's 2023. I still make jokes that it's 2020. I'm going to Mars. Yeah, mimicry. Like, everyone who feels the pain, right, of, like, these designs are so good, where are the good toys? Like, that was me for the last 2 lines. RID 2015's Beast Decepticons. Every Decepticon being, like, such a friggin' cool animal robot mode, like, animal-oriented robot mode into vehicle design. They were so cool. And there are some of them that never got even a one-step changer. 15 years. 15 years. And then Cyberverse, right? Like, Cyberverse Windblade never getting a deluxe despite literally being one of the main characters of the show. And they made a deluxe Prowl! Prowl, whose claim to fame is I died! Filch is coming, but like, you know, in Legacy, what does it mean still? You know? Yeah, Severin Shannon, Earthspark Tarantulas. They made an episode that sold me a toy that does not exist. Vicky Peeves, you gotta remember Prowl died. It's the thing he did. It's the one thing. Okay, he also befriended. Did he befriend Shadow Striker, or was that someone else? Anyway, his deluxe might be coming back for Earthspark. That's what I predict that deluxe is. Because that just fits the pattern, right? Yo! Hang on, I gotta go off screen for a second. Yo, remember that time that they made Earthspark Starscream a callback voice actor and made him a kind of new take on the character who threw back to some of the concepts seen in the IDW1 comics of maybe Starscream is the victim of his own circumstance and he is the toxic manifestation of all the horrors that were wrought upon him by those around him. And remember how they put out a deluxe toy of him that was just the Cyberverse Deluxe painted in the same color palette and color layout, which don't match the Cyberverse design that the deluxe is? Yo, who was just talking? What was going on over there? So you see, this is, I was talking about this earlier, this is how, you know, we could sit here on the internet and be actually really livid and angry and grumpy and really visibly spitting it out and getting it into other people, or we could just have fun with it, because, like, it's out of our power to deal with. It's out of our power not to deal with. It's out of our power to affect change upon right now, so let's just have fun with what we have, right? Yeah, I was fine with that deluxe until I saw that episode, and I was like, you made him a completely different character. He doesn't remotely resemble the Cyberverse one whatsoever as a person, as a personality. He doesn't resemble the Prime one either. He's a completely new Starscream. Why would you do this to me? Oh, I had a moment too. So I was out toy hunting, and I saw a Cyberverse toy with the box art of Cyberverse Skywarp, and I forgot everything that happened for the last year for a second. And I thought, oh, dip! Cyberverse Skywarp? I love that character. I'll pick up that toy. And I was like, oh, right. It's it's the Cyberverse Warrior Seeker. Just in colors that also don't match this box art. They're just weird colors. Oops. Woohoo! Yeah, the dream of third party fulfilling these niches, like, yeah, it's, I'm not saying it's over, because there's always a chance, right? But, like, it is kind of a bummer to me that, like, I used to be one of the ones who was like, there's a chance, and, like, I don't feel that way anymore, and I feel like that I don't like having pessimism like that, because I think pessimism sort of inherently is unconstructive and unhelpful. It's more about directing your optimism in useful ways, to me. That's kind of how I like to think of how a brain can work, but, like, yeah, I don't envision it anymore. Because, like, the ones, there are a bunch of us who'd be down for it, but I think we still number less than 20,000, or less than 5,000 even, and I think they need that many to sell to make a toy. So, Well, back when 4Kids Transformers were the animated line, like, the animated line was the direct beneficiary, I think, of obviously not Revenge of the Fallen, but, like, I think it was a beneficiary, after Wave 1, at least, of, like, the rising, like, holy crap, the Transformers, you know? Also, it's worth remembering, because I think this has gotten lost to time a little bit. Animated was a very unique, once-in-a-lifetime toy line where the not just the toys, the show and the toys from the ground up were a partnership, we're all sitting in the room together partnership between Hasbro and Cartoon Network and the folks working directly on the show team themselves. So, like, the network, the toy company, the creatives working on the show, in tight unison from the ground up. You know, not like we were handed concept art, blah, 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 but like from the ground up. Everyone was at some point in a room together working on that thing, and I think that's a highly unique situation, especially for Transformers. And like that is why that toy line has that like ephemeral. Is ephemeral even the word I want to use here? It just jumped into my mouth. That's why it has that it factor, I think. It's just had that it factor because every party involved was involved on the ground level of developing that show. As it went on, like, yeah, there were things like, oh, you know, we didn't know about Oil Slick until we finished animation. We're going to slide him into a scene in season 3 or whatever. But, like, generally speaking, from the ground up, that show was a true group project. And, like, I just don't think that we get that has happened again since. Thank you, Calvin J, for the birthday wishes. I should have I brought this with me to have as a snack if I was still streaming at this point. So I got my... Whoop. That fell off of my laptop stand. I got one of these today at H Mart. It's a custard fish. Rip his tail off so he has to survive being eaten. Delicious. Zero Liddell, I am a monster, but I'm a cute monster. Ooh woo. Yeah, I don't know if these are true taiyaki, but like H Mart. Oh no, it says Kevin's Taiyaki. Okay, it's Kevin's Taiyaki. They just have these at the front counter. I only like the custard one. And I can't go up to look at what ones they have until I'm paying at one of the certain registers. So, like, it's always a gamble. But when they have the custard ones, I always, like, snatch 2 of them for the next couple days. Labyrinth, this is a fresh caught fish. In Toronto, our fish are made of cake and custard. Thank you, Transformer01. That's very kind of you. Don't have to be sorry. Zero-san! Mo! Not the fresh ones from Pat Central. No, I buy a lot of my groceries at H Mart, so it's just, I'm there already, right? Do you got custard fish cakes? Oh, good. Yeah, the Robot Lorekeeper, like the animated toys are just that base level synergy. I think bled into the entire toy line. You know, even the best and worst of the toy line, even the one-step changers, even the Crash Bashers or whatever. Like everything is intrinsically tied to the core root of the creation of that project. And like, I think that's why it has that it factor. So here's where I'm a bit of a Philistine. I like sweet bean dessert stuff like on dango. I love it. In like those in filled pancakes, in walnut cakes, and in taiyaki. I don't really like sweet bean filling. I'll eat it if it's given to me, but I won't buy it for myself, and I will always go to custard. I don't like it enough to spend money on it, but I will accept it as a gift. I'm sorry. And I apologize to everyone out there who puts in all the hard work and the toil to farm those beans and turn them into delicious dessert paste. I wish it was my thing. I'm also from the West Coast and I hate salmon. I am a monster. Oh yeah, I agree, Picky Peas. Yeah, Legacy Prowl is like... Yeah, because of that it factor, Legacy Prowl ends up feeling like an in-house third-party toy to me. And I like him. I also like him. I like that toy for the most part, but like, it's really weird because yeah, it's like a third-party toy that Hasbro made for their own stuff. Okay, well, I mean, I gotta clear something. I am not a bean disliker. There are beans I like. And I will eat sweet bean. I love Dongo. Some of my best friends are Dongo. But you give me something with like sweet bean filling, like walnut cakes. I'll pop one or two and I'll be fine. I just don't want to buy them for myself. I don't want to have a stack of them. You know, I don't like them enough to want to like have them myself. I want them to be something that is at someone else's place, and I steal one. But you get those those pancakes. You put some sweet mashed potato filling in there. You put some chocolate pasty in there. You put some custard in. Then you got me. Some of my best friends are beans, and I eat them, and they're happy about it, and I'm happy about it. I never said beans shouldn't have rights. Beans have gone through so much. Listen, I am a bean respecter, okay? Kidney, black beans, green beans, the other ones in chili, the ones where I don't know that they're beans, but then it turns out they are beans. I thought they were some kind of legume, but no, they're also beans. Pinto, refried. I know what I'm doing here. Don't worry. I know. I understand. This is a bit. Refried and pinto and lima. Oh, no. When I was at H Mart, I was just buying groceries. The places to TF Toy Hunt in downtown is you go to Dufferin Mall, and then you go to Young Dundas, and you go to the two GameStops there. Those are the places you hunt. I didn't forget Garbanzo. They just slipped my mind. Who remembers No one actually remembers Garbanzo beans. That's not to say I don't respect Garbanzo beans. Anyone would forget that they exist. I'm stealing this from chat. If you like beans so much, name all of them. Turtle Tank, you want to see me smash that button with Gaugaigar stuff. At some point, I gotta review the SOC Goldie Mark. I don't dislike it. It's just like when I got it, my reaction was like, "Oh, I'll deal with this later." And now it's been several years. I'm getting. Hang on, I'm trying to pivot this into a YouTube apology. I have been receiving rude messages on Facebook Messenger that are unwarranted and frankly unkind. John Thomas Jones, I got you addicted to Gaugaigar with the SOC review. Hell yeah! There's a place downtown that has Pose Plus Gaugaigar for many, many, many hundreds of dollars. I gotta hustle more. No, the thing is, the ukulele, they did it at the Streamer Awards. It's circled around the sun. It's not. We all have to drop it now. Calvin J, yeah, the RG, the real grade Gaugaigar, they got that downtown as well. I am thinking of picking it up. I need to pick it up and not care how it turns out. I just want to pick it up and build it for my own gratification, not for like making a perfect model, but like also how do I apply mini painting skills to Gunpla Gaugaigars? Like you dry build it, then do you do like a top coat, and then do you do some painting, and then matte coat it? Like, is that the way? My fans know it's been difficult. Ugh. They got a real grade. I thought is real grade Goldie Marg like a P Bandai, or is that retail? I didn't know they did one. Zero dry built details top coat wash top coat. Okay, and it turns out fine if you just like take the four limbs off and the head off and then paint those do everything to those and put them back together. It's not like you get funky stuff, right? Like you can just do that and play with it still. carefully. I don't know. I have unbuilt gunplas I could just go through this with. I don't know why I keep like... I'm like, everyone tell me how it works. Tell me if I like it. The thing is, Transformers Zero One, like, the state of shipping from Japan makes downtown anime stores, like... How do you put this? For the convenience compared to shipping it in... It's become price comparable. It's become price comparable. I try to do my top coating with an airbrush now, so I'm not, like... Two things. So I'm not caking it on, and so I'm not beholden to humidities making my top coat turn into friggin' crust. Because some moisture got in between the layers. Oh, yeah, I know from mini painting and miniature stuff, like, you don't want to do matte coat on clear things. I'm even reticent to do, like, matte coat on, or gloss coat on clear things. I know it's safe, but sometimes it makes clear things look too gem-like when, like, if it's just, like, a flight stand, I'm like, I don't want the flight stand to be glossy. I just want it to be clear and forgettable. Oh, my airbrush was, like, really cheap, but it also... I've shown it on stream before, I think. It's a handle that is the compressor with a cheap airbrush stuck on top, and there's a battery in the handle. So it's like $70 Canadian. It is very basic, but I've gotten more use out of it than I thought I would for such a basic thing. Yeah, that's the thing is, if I was able to do, like, I ordered $300 to $500 of stuff from one place in Japan, then the shipping becomes sensible, but I'm like, I can't, though. For top coating, you can do multiple coats. It's a little bit easier, actually. Because if you go all in on one, there's the chance of, like, you know, the caking happening. Airbrush is not that hard to clean. It's just, like, a little finicky, and you kind of... I don't know if I'm doing it right, but, like, the way I'm doing it is working. With an airbrush, you can just run, like, I have, these are all hobby grade for miniatures painting stuff, but I think they still work. I just have, like, Vallejo, or not even Vallejo, I have other companies now, like, super matte top coat and gloss top coats. Gloss top coat is more durable, so you want to do that first either way, just to protect everything if you're worried about chipping, and then, like, do a super matte over top. And you can mix them if you want to get, like, semi-gloss, you know? But I'm using like acrylic-based stuff that's water soluble. I'm not dipping into the Tamiya enamel-based stuff. And yeah, also Zero's line is kind of what I've learned about hobbying in general is if it works, it's correct. So yeah, one light top coat is also fine. I've done multiples because I also, like, on miniatures especially, like, I want it to be a little bit... I don't want to have, like, a mix of top and gloss on certain parts. I want it to be perfect, so I just go in there and, like, do a bunch of thin ones. Now, I've been staring at this spoon picture for too long. I'm getting a little carried away. I should probably close things up soon. We've gone for over 3 hours, and I was really patting myself on the back how we it's under 2 hours, and I can take a look at the front page, and then, like, I started talking about VTubers. Gonna paint up those spoons. These spoons are from Sonic Drive-In. I don't think we have those in Canada, so, like, someone... okay, I will say this now. I do not want to pay shipping to have spoons shipped from America to Canada, because the shipping will be, like, $20, if not more. So if I could, like, just have the spoons dropped into my hands physically, in person, one day, then I would paint them. Oh, yeah, Zero, I mentioned I had been watching, like, my idle entertainment has been EDH YouTube, Lorcana YouTube, and VTubers. And then a whole bunch of people were like, what VTubers? So I was saying I got on a whole thing about how the agency side I think is kind of spooky, but in case you missed it, anyone else missed it, the nexus points I've been going to, because a lot of these indie folks like collaborate together, and there's a lot of folks I've been finding enjoyable, but the nexus points where I'm like, these are the folks who seem to pull in streams that I'm enjoying. There's three of them, is Onigiri, Trickywi, and Akuma Nimune are the three that I've been enjoying. eBay. I mean, the thing is, shipping from America to Canada is just flat expensive now on physical objects. So, like, I don't want to. Oh, Sideswipe Prime, you weren't here when I said those two names, were you? Okay, yeah. I don't know who Girl DM is. I'll try to make a note of it. Onigiri is the one I watched where I was like, I want to do that. Because, like, the whole trick with the blue sleeves, the blue screen sleeves, so there's a pair of floating hands in front of a model. I was like, how do I put this? I was furious for like 10 seconds. I was furious that I didn't think of it. I was like, that is, if I was in that space, faced with the question of how do I cook VTube, I'm like, I would have thought of that. I would have thought of that. No, I got so mad, and then I was like, but also, I would never be in that position without having learned of this in the first place. So then I was just like, I'm just going to check out these YouTube videos. There's some fun stuff. Oh, Picky Peeves. Yeah, I did get Deck Builder Game Astro Train. I got hooked up with the promo pack. I got sorted. Thank goodness. I did a Renegade order and sent it to Aaron right before he drove up to TFCon Toronto. So I paid cheap American shipping, and then Aaron spent $1 million on gasoline. If those spoons ship cheap in padded envelopes, then like AO, but me and Aaron and some other folks have like, you try to ship a stack of 15 cards in a padded envelope, and that shipping spiked to like $20. And that used to be like $5 to ship from America to Canada. My understanding, not to like tangent right when I said I'd start winding down, my understanding from also the board game industry getting like eviscerated by the shipping crisis of the last 3 years is Canada is an enigma to American logistics companies because we are not densely populated enough for them to know how to do things up here, so it's just more expensive. I was talking to someone. I think that when it comes to wanting equality of shipping prices in Canada, one of the only things you can, aside from obviously like, you know, getting deep into like the more governmental notion of how our entire interconnected systems works, if you want to like get on a soapbox and write a petition about a thing, it is to petition courier companies to establish Canadian-side warehousing, and for manufacturers and companies to establish more Canada-side warehousing on their own dime for long-term infrastructure gains. That is the thing to push for. I don't think it will actually happen. I don't think that a lot of people will push for that. And I don't even know that that's the solution. Just in my mind, that is the... If you're gonna like say they should do this, like that's the they should do this thing to yell about. Yeah, I heard all these rumblings about HasLab plans, that kind of made me go like, if Victory names are in that Tumblr so much that like they keep popping up, like, okay, if they said they're not going to do Victory, I'm also kind of like, it kind of feels like they have just kind of maneuvered HasLab Transformers to just be the Victory Generations toy line, though. I don't know. Like, I understand, you know, okay, we did Victory Saber, so we'll do Death Source. It's natural, but like, the Victory cast is like when everyone got ties, it's kind of a small cast. And I'm not saying like, and this is my dream. Like, I think it would be neat, but also, I kind of wish they would just say it one way or another, you know? Like Like, just say it one way. So the problem with the U.S. mail forwarding service, right, is like it's gonna cost someone money to ship it to Canada, and I don't drive, so I don't have a situation where I can just drive into the States to pick things up from a PO box. And like as far as I know, like if I just like piled them all into some poor schmuck in the States, eventually they'd have to ship it to me, and it would just be expensive still. And I feel super weird that I would be setting up a middleman service like in Japan, but for a country that is literally landlocked marriaged to my own country across a very long border. Something about it just makes me annoyed to the point where I just don't even want to bother. Like, I think the next HasLab Transformer should be Action Master Elite Omega Supreme. That's my original idea and my unpredictable idea. I think it would sell very well because the Action Master Elites are beloved and everyone thinks they're cool. That's my soapbox. Thanks everyone for listening to my political campaign. I agree. If a core class Supreme dropped, I also think that'd be neat. I'd like a bigger one, but if they did that, I'd just be like, yo! Gimme one! I just email Hasbro customer service. Hello! I am owed your new Omega Supreme. Send it. Here's my address. But yeah, I should say, I'm planning to stream more often. I say that every time, but I'm actually trying to consciously think about it, because I want to stream more often, because in like 2.5 weeks, I'm also flying out west for like 2 weeks. And so I want to get into a rhythm so that when I get out there, I'd be like, oh no, but I want to keep streaming while I'm out west. I'll stream on my phone, so it won't be funny OBS stuff, but I'll stream anyway to keep it up, because also if I stream out west, I can stream some funny old toys. And I can make my Armada Optimus Prime pants go a few times in a row. I can transform him so everyone can say, no, don't do that, his elbows will break. Because I think I figured out the trick to make them not be as stressed when you transform them. I'm actually surprised mine survived, because I know I'd followed the instructions a lot of times, which involves, like, flexing that gold elbow, but, yeah. Wavesign said the line! Wavesign said the secret sentence! That activates the music! Uh-oh! Can you even hear the music? I can't remember. You can! Hey. Hey, all you cool folks. Thanks for joining this stream. Hey, hang on. Hey. All you cool folks! Thanks for joining this stream. Thanks for showing up whenever I'm streaming. Makes it fun. I was telling my mom this on the phone. I have noticed that I generally, if I'm down in the dumps or not, either way, when I do a stream and we all hang out, I feel better. So I want to do this more. And you're all a part of that by hanging out and being cool. Someday I might need to get a moderator, at which point I'll just start bothering Aaron. But, anyway, I said it before, but, like, genuinely, I really appreciate that, like, for the most part, I don't actually have to sit here staring at the stream chat, like, uh-oh, where's the perverts? Uh-oh, where's the fascists? We're keeping it real. It's good stuff. But yeah, I still have a couple toys I haven't opened. I'm trying not to ration them for the sake of streaming, but it's naturally happened. But this front page thing, I was trying to see how naturally I could just glide into going for the front page. I want to stream when I don't have new toys, when I could just go on the front page and look at stuff, when I could figure out a fun little activity of some kind. So I'm figuring it out. Also, hey Nonef, thanks for stopping by whilst the shop is locking. Woo perverts. I gotta do the shouts out again. So, there is a GoFundMe to help Peter Spellos. Wait, wrong screen. There is a GoFundMe to help Peter Spellos out. I saw this on my Twitter right before I started the stream, so I wanted to share it. I felt it was, a little civic duty. I'll put the link into the chat. I'm not running this GoFundMe. I saw it show up on Twitter. I'm assuming everything's, it sucks. So I wanted to spread the word of that. Also, my friend Cassie has a bespoke dice drop happening at her shop tomorrow. There's a link in there. That's just a local friend of mine who makes pretty cool dice and seemed a little worried that the shop drop might kind of bounce a little bit. And I felt like, well, I can help at least make people know it exists. I will yell it at them. So that's what I'm doing here. Anyway, yo, we'll talk later. And hey, this weekend, TFCon Toronto 2023 TCG panel is going up, probably tomorrow. So if you want to check that out, check that out. Manic Marathon panel is probably going to be up pretty soon. Next review is probably going to be Rise of the Beast Core Class Freezer, followed by overtime. I'm also doing 2 3-0 MDLXs, Megatron and Rodimus. They are here, and I found my Optimus and Bumblebee, who I boxed up to protect them, and I put them in a place so they wouldn't get hurt or lost, and immediately lost them for 2 months. I found them so I can get back to having them appear in the footage. I'm an organized professional freelancer, and I've been at YouTube for over a decade. Keep it real. Phantoms of text. Yeah. Meat is real. I will be a flesh. My future is nigh.
Let them come.